stuff, and I mean, I can find the photos, but they just like click on when we talk about stuff. So, all right, you ready to go though?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, welcome to the second episode of Game Bytes. This is a new gaming talk show put on by the Verse. Well, two of us right now. We are your hosts. I am Pro Ace Joker, and with
I
me,
am Energy.
we got Energy. And so this talk show, if you guys didn't see the first episode, is just we discuss gaming wrapped around gaming tech and movies. Any news going on for the last month. This is a monthly show. We might change that as it goes on, but we are doing the second episode for January. We'll talk a little bit about stuff in 2017, as it is a new year. Welcome to the new year, and welcome to a new Game Bites.
Welcome and bienvenue. Welcome. Come on in.
And remember, we don't only just talk news, we also discuss our opinions. So we can tell you your opinions are wrong and we're right. So welcome.
Opinions.
And enjoy that you don't matter. Anyways, let's get started. I spent a long time, again, if you haven't seen my list, this is just... That's one page. I have, or that's 2 pages. I have 3 pages of notes, so I have more than what we did last time. It's a lot more game-based, and there's a lot more kind of smaller topics, just kind of like, hey, this was happening, things like that. But let's start off. We're gonna talk about 2017. New Year happened. It's January, end of January. But we talked about the Game Awards last Game Bites, and we also talked about kind of some of the top games and things like that happened. Well, now we have official lists and things like that actually describe both. We're gonna talk kind of just a recap, and this will be good because this is a recap of all the news of 2017. Just some of the biggest and the highlightiest things that
Highlightiest. I like that.
mostly I guess the best way to describe is these are kind of the news that stood out in gaming tech and whatnot. So one thing we should know, PUBG came out and incredibly I don't know if you guys know this, but it outsold Minecraft. So it's not the highest sold game ever at all yet, but it is actually, I believe there is more purchases of PUBG now than there are copies that have been sold on PC. So Minecraft does really well in the mobile market. So I don't actually know where PUBG is at right now when it comes to sales. It's been a little while, and it's come out for Xbox, and it's got a lot more. I heard one report that said it's already at like 4 million copies on Xbox, plus on top of the like, I think it's somewhere in the grounds of like 37 million or something along those. Don't quote me on that one specifically. That's more of an estimate, but that's roughly around where it's been selling. So, and it is not slowing down. Anyways, these might be a little out of order. I'll try and remember what ones are supposed to go with each other. But again, let's talk some weird news that you might have missed in 2017. Cinemax or something along those lines. Skinamax, Cinemax, and Facebook had their little tussle of who actually made the Oculus. That was only last year. That seems like 4 years ago, but that was a whole thing that actually happened last year. The reason why that's significant was because it was worth $6 billion, which is a quarter of what it got sold to Facebook for. So,
$6 billion, damn.
$6 billion, and I believe Cinemax actually won that one. Yeah, they actually got it. Yeah. and it was like a $500 million court case or something. Is how much money they spent on random shit. So, and this is the we'll call this the lawsuit segment, all right? Because this is a lot of lawsuits that kind of happened. We had Alex Mauer or Mower, I think it's Mauer, who did the Star Mazer 2 soundtrack. There was a huge tuffle with that, where she did a work for hire for Star Mazer, and then she said that she wasn't paid enough, and then started sending out DMCAs to YouTubers, and actually got a few channels shut down because she was trying to. If you did any Let's Play or anything of Star Mazer 2, she would send out a thing and it got a lot of people pissed to demonetize your video, which she actually, again, she did 3 strikes, and then she told them that if the YouTuber whatever filed a complaint to the creators, the publisher, about Star Mazer, then she would take away the strikes. So pretty much she just extorted YouTubers to fight her own battle, which,
wow,
again, not really how work for hire works. Like, you're working and you got paid a certain amount, you can't ask for more later on. That's not how that works. Anyways, here's an interesting one that you might not heard. Rockstar got sued by psychics. I don't know. There's the
psychics?
Psychic Reader Network is who it is, which is,
oh god.
Rockstar got sued for
defamation of character.
GTA, of Vice City. It was GTA Vice City, like that game from, what was it, 14 years ago or some craziness. Like, there was a character. What was it? I can't remember her last name, but she goes by Miss Cleo. She did the voice acting for a character in the game, and then the Psychic Reader Network built an entire character around Miss Cleo, and then Miss Cleo passed away.
Yep.
And soon after she passed away, all of a sudden Rockstar got sued by them, sued by the Psychic Readers, saying that that Rockstar stole the character because of the likeness. So
wow,
that happened. I'm
yeah,
pretty sure Rockstar actually won that one, but no surprise there. There was the whole CD Projekt Red trying to copyright the word cyberpunk. And that got a lot of people in a tizzy, although this is one of those, like, gray area ones. Like, we've heard this before, Candy Crush trying to copyright the word candy and bullshit like that, where it's like, you can't necessarily copyright a word, but they want to copyright cyberpunk because they're just trying to protect their property, Cyberpunk 2077, right? That's a game that's been in the works for God knows how long now, 5 years or something. And we haven't heard much else. I guess recently they actually, their official Twitter just went back live. It went back to life by just a beep. That's all they said. They just said beep, and that was their Twitter post. So apparently we might be getting some more information about that. That game looks really good.
Yeah, it does.
Although
the thing is like with that game, they would have like a little bit of information, and then what was it, like 3 years ago, they actually won like an E3 award, but then there was like no information after that.
Yeah, no, that was pretty much it. And as I said, it's been like a year and a half since, and the Twitter is finally going back live, so maybe we'll get some more info. Maybe.
Yeah.
So
hopefully, because that game looked really cool.
That game looks so beautiful. So Activision.
Yeah, there's literally no updates on that Rockstar lawsuit.
Nothing? Wow, okay. Maybe
yeah, like the last thing was posted August 7th, and there hasn't been. Oh wait, no, there we go.
Oh.
Nope, nothing.
Nothing?
No,
Sweet.
Nothing on it. Maybe the lawsuit didn't actually finalize it.
They might, again, they might just be chilling trying to get it
Yeah, I
abstained
mean, it
from
might
court
be
as long
that
as they
they've
can.
filed a lawsuit, but it hasn't actually gone through.
Hmm. Well, the next one.
Oh, actually, no. A judge threw out the case. That's what it
Judge
was.
throughout the case. Hey, there you go. Hey, Alpier, how you doing? Good seeing you. And again, as I said, you chat. Feel free to ask questions or anything if you're like, oh, I haven't heard of that, or give me more info. Let us know. We will do our best to continue to discuss things as we go. So these are more just kind of discussing old news, so nothing really too much to discuss here. One or two, like maybe this one. Anyone remember those Activision patents that Activision got and they own? They have them, and they're out there in the world, which is pretty much manipulated pay to win systems. They copyrighted matchmaking systems that specifically make it so they almost have like so they have short-term pay to win, which is when you pay for a new weapon or something, they put you with a bunch of bad players so you feel like you're doing really good for a while, so that and then you start going against people at your skill level again, so then you're like, oh, I'll buy again and I'll do really well again. That's one of the patents. They also got the other one, which is they specifically, and it's kind of off that first one, is they specifically put non-paying players against paying players, and specifically people who are worse at the game pit against good players, so it entices them to actually spend money on microtransactions to get you to get you.
To get you to spend money. It's a thing that they I forgot who really uncovered that, but that's definitely a thing that they were doing.
Well, and they say it's not in any other games currently, but the patents also state that they don't actually have to tell us if it's in the game. So
yeah.
I believe them for now that it's not in any of the games. It's just they have it. Because, I mean, they didn't get the patents until 2017. They actually filed for them back in, like, 2014, 2015, I think? 2015. So they filed for them back in 2015, but they didn't get them until now, pretty much. So...
yeah.
So,
well, that's one of those things that they built up, and then it was essentially they needed to just turn on a switch to make it start working.
Yep.
So, yeah, if you buy any loot boxes in Call of Duty, and all of a sudden you start doing really well,
Exactly. So, I mean, I just heard they apparently came out with a prop hunt game mode for World War II. By the way, like that's an official game type they just released like today or something. So that's pretty sick. I was like, oh, that's actually super cool. Like Call of Duty's doing something like that. But I mean, I don't know. I guess this leads off from the whole microtransaction thing, where EA, as much shit as we were giving them because they crossed the line. Right. If it wasn't them, it was going to be someone else. At some point, some company, some big publisher was going to cross the line in microtransactions and be in a tizzy. Send everyone in a tizzy and hate the company. Right. EA just pulled the short straw. On their own accord, but they pulled it. They saw it and they chose it. So...
yeah. A lot of people got pissed off at EA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they're ever going to bring back those microtransactions in EA.
Yeah.
Because
they haven't yet.
They were talking about it.
Well, and the crazy thing is Battlefront was actually the most sold game in December. So it's actually selling very well still, regardless of that whole issue. So EA is doing fine.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh, there's a whole thing with Andromeda, where it was the kick in the balls where we all know how Andromeda was. I never played it, but from what I hear, everyone was like, it wasn't very good. Like they're like the graphics were all right, the gameplay was all right.
Game.
Yeah,
it was a very rushed game.
A lot of glitches, but like even the story wasn't good or anything like that. So, and so yeah, but then it was funny because it was shortly after, I guess some of the devs for Andromeda came out and were like, we could have delayed the game and we would have been okay with it, but we didn't think it needed it.
Yeah,
so
no, they
were thinking of delaying it for another 6 months. So
yeah, they wanted to delay it, but then like it did so bad that the studio actually got shut down.
Yeah, they shut the studio down now, which is super sucky. You were president at the time this talk show was just thought, right, 47? You were. Hey, 47, you should do this talk show with us sometime.
Hey, what's up, 47?
Yep, so EA shut down Visceral. If you guys don't know, that's another thing. Visceral Games. What was the other games? All I can remember was the project that they were working on. Visceral Games. Let's see. What's a good one? Battlefield. That's what they do. Battlefield, Dead Space, all that.
Yep.
Well,
I know Deco would probably join us in the talk show if you would like.
But I'm up. Like that's kind of my hope, is that we just get more people and then we get a whole discussion going on. So.
Holy hell. Decoy's got some issues with his capture card right now.
Dang.
That sucks. Anyway.
But yeah, so they shut down Visceral, which they were working on the new Star Wars experience, the new single player experience for Star Wars.
Yep.
They shut it down because they said it was too linear. So single player campaigns, people don't want it to be linear. And there's a lot on that. We'll actually get to that in a second. Or in a little while, about single player campaigns and the direction that the market is going. Well, the quote unquote direction the market is going. So, then we had Nintendo, and again, this is still all 2017. So we had Nintendo. They had their whole bullshit app. Like, every company had a good amount of shit show this in 2017. PlayStation has its normal, just PlayStation-y crap of being hacked and having issues and not wanting to do cross-platform play and things like that. PC will have the whole Intel incident, which we'll get to in a little bit.
It was Intel and AMD, but yeah.
Yeah, and what was it? Microsoft, for Xbox, they kind of had a pretty bland year, but the biggest thing that really people hated was the fact that there's not enough exclusives for the Xbox. And then Nintendo had their whole Nintendo app fiasco, where, if you don't know, there's a whole system that they had where you had to use an app on your phone to connect to a bunch of features for your Switch and other things. Like, in order to play games on Splatoon, you had to search on your phone. And if you shut your phone down, if the screen went off or anything, it would crash a game. So, that's good stuff there. And it caused a lot of burns because there's so many OLED screens now that actually cause a bunch of burns. Or phone burns for people. Visual burns. And then they were going to charge for their Nintendo Online. Nintendo is coming out with an online service. I think they've since scrapped it, actually, or at least they put it on the back burner where they're like, this is not ready yet. Because it's not useful, and they were going to make people charge for it, which no one is going to pay for. Nintendo just has never had a good online system. They're like 10 plus years behind. Hey Ames, how you doing? So that was that.
It got delayed. Apparently.
Yeah.
It was supposed to cost between $17 and $26 a year. Really?
Yeah, I
That's
mean it's
insane.
relatively cheap, but at the same time, there's just nothing to do on it. Like, there's so
Isn't
many better
Xbox only
alternatives.
15 a year?
Nah, Xbox and PlayStation are both $60 a year. So
Oh no, a year. Oh, I'm thinking month. Derp.
yeah,
No, Xbox was like $100 for a year.
yeah, I remember those. Well, now it's as I said, it's $10 a month or $60 for the year or something like that. No, is it just five? I think it's just
No,
five
it's a
dollars a
hundred
month.
$100 a year. Hold on. Let's see. Xbox Gold, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
4 year
yeah,
anniversary stream. Yeah,
yeah, $60 for the year, pretty much.
$60. Yep, yeah, that's what I thought. So
Yeah, about $5 a month. A little over $5 a month. Unless you get it 1 month at a time, then it's like $10. But yeah. Yeah, Kingwin has it at 52.64 for a full year. Um, yeah, they say fall of this year that we're in right now. So it'll be probably towards the end of this year. Uh, I mean, at least they're trying to do things right instead of having a service that goes down all the time.
yeah, exactly. Um, well, anyways, let's see what else we got. We got crossplay titles. A lot on the more good side of news. We are starting to get a lot of cross-platform play titles. Rocket League,
Yeah.
for instance, was kind of the first really big one between PC and Xbox. Minecraft
Well, I
also
mean,
does
you
it.
could do PS4 and PC with Rocket League, but the main thing is like the whole like Play Anywhere, Xbox Play Anywhere thing. Like
Yes,
that's
well,
really
and
been awesome.
that's not so much for Rocket League because it's a different. The Play Anywhere is it can be supported, but it's really for just Microsoft titles.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but no, it is possible on Rocket League. Again, Rocket League had the whole thing where they accidentally turned it on for a little while. Um,
yeah,
so it's possible, which then just pissed off Sony because they're like, no, Sony has been saying that it's not possible for the longest time, and
yeah.
now all of a sudden it's like, they're like, oh, well, it's possible, but we can't control the other internets, so and we want to be able to control what our users see so that they don't see things they shouldn't, and it's like, sweet. So again, another
Oh, and it was
few.
Fortnite that actually accidentally got turned on.
Yeah, well, both of them. Rocket League did it once last year, way in the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
Minecraft has cross-platform, but Fortnite also, and Fortnite's really funny actually because Fortnite did it like a month and a half ago. They accidentally
yeah,
turned it on.
September.
They actually did it again recently, and
Oh,
it's
really?
this time it almost doesn't feel like an accident. A few weeks ago,
Maybe a
some of
network test.
the Epic employees came out and said like gamers deserve cross-platform play. They're like pissed at Sony that they're holding back and won't let them. Um, yeah, it won't let them do cross-platform. So I'm pretty sure right now they're just kind of flipping a switch to kind of just like prod at Sony. Because again, they had it accidentally happen back in September, and they had it again like a week ago. It accidentally turned on again. Um, the fact that it happened again shortly after them talking about how gamers deserve cross-platform play kind of just tells me that I think Epic's just kind of giving Sony the middle finger. Um,
Yeah.
so I like that. I like that a lot. I would love to play because I have, for instance, one of the problems is Xbox. I've been playing Fortnite, right? My data doesn't transfer over to PC. So, and PC and
Yeah.
PlayStation have cross-platform. Progress. You can't play with other people, but your progress for like leveling and things like that transfers over. Um And if they just actually allowed it, I would be able to move my account over to PC, which I would like to play with some people who play on PS4 and all that. Like, we just need it. We need cross-platform in our lives now. It's yeah. You know, I for the longest time was saying that would never happen, but Xbox is now all for it. PC's all for it. It's now really just Sony that we're waiting on.
Yep.
So
It's been Sony for a minute, but yeah.
We'll get to some other Sony stuff later on. They got some interesting things.
Yeah, it was on the 19th that they accidentally turned it on for Fortnite.
Yeah, there you
go.
So a few quick ones. There's the whole fiasco with the real dead body in the Telltale Batman series.
Wait, what?
There was a... I have it pulled up right here. It was on the screen. They were looking at the Gotham brokerage. It was like the bank. And there's a bunch of dead guys in front of the open vault. Apparently, those are real dead bodies. Someone actually used... One of the artists actually used a photo of a murdered Russian diplomat and put it into the game as the people lying on there. So, good job, Telltale.
Yeah.
So there's that one. Then the other one that's pretty quick is there's the whole leak of Half-Life 2 Episode 3. The ending of the game was leaked, apparently. I won't go into the details of what it is because I'll be honest, I don't think it's necessarily real. Just because I have... Let's just say there's...
Half-Life 3 has been teased. It's a meme.
It is. To Valve as well. I had again, not to like speak for Valve here, but I had a friend who worked at Valve, and I actually talked to him about it. And it's funny because he phrased it as just like, he asked someone else, he's like, so what do we tell people who ask about Half-Life 3? He's like, oh, I usually just look at them and laugh. And it's like, alright. So, the project's been canceled since, like, 2004. And that's, like, an official thing. The Half-Life 3 has not been in the making for, like, 12 years now. Or not 2004. I think 2004 is when Episode 2 came out. But, like, 2000... I don't know, it was, like, 2011 or something. When did Episode 2? I think
for
Episode
Half-Life
2 was...
3?
Episode... Half-Life... What was Half-Life 2?
2006.
2006. Okay, that's what I thought. So I think...
It was announced for a Christmas 2007 release.
That's what it was. And they canceled it back in 2011. Yeah. You won't find that information anywhere. But that was just talking to people at Valve, is that they are using it as just a meme. They like to release little snapshots and be like, oh... leaked Half-Life footage. Our bad. So they literally make assets and stuff just to fucking mess with people. Yeah, that's Valve for you. So, which again, Valve is a software company. They're not a game company anymore. So
yeah.
They make
the leaked documents were in August, but
yeah,
there's nothing else that's come out about it since then. And October 10th,
and they never will.
They were announcing the 10-year anniversary since the Orange Box, and didn't bring up anything about Half-Life.
Yeah, no. As I said, it's just a meme for even Valve. So they even make shirts and stuff for it too, and then like sell them at PAX. They actually give it to random people at PAX and be like, "Hey, I'm a Valve employee. We're trying to promote our new game. Here you go." And they hand out like 10 shirts at times. I think this was PAX like 2 years ago. But they handed out Half-Life 3 shirts to a bunch of people. And so everyone was like frantically running around. They're like, where the hell did you get this shirt? So, and it turns out that they just kind of gave it to some people, as well as like just some employees were wearing them and they wore them, but they didn't say that they were employees. So,
right.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Valve's a good company. Anyways, that's kind of the top, I guess, news out of 2017. Or not top news, but weird news. Alright, that's the weird news of 2017.
Yeah.
Let's actually move on to looking to the future. We've looked at the past. Let's look towards the future. we most anticipated games of 2018, and we're also going to talk about most anticipated
Half-Life
movies of. All right, hold on, let me see if I can find a giant list.
Well, Red Dead Redemption 2, you know
yes,
that one.
and I have a whole bunch, but I'm just pulling up a list because we are not only going to talk just we're going to talk movies and games, because this is shaping up to look like one of the greatest years in gaming and movies. I don't think anything will really beat 2007, 2008 timeframe for gaming, but we have an insane year for movies, as much as a pretty good year for games as well.
Especially the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That's expanding like crazy this year.
And they got some extra things, which I will mention in just a second, actually. So, right now we got upcoming games. These are just a bunch of them, and I'll just mention, and then we can talk about what our favorites are. We got the PS4, the new Spider-Man game coming out. I've seen some gameplay of that. I am super excited for that. This is another one of those games that I would literally buy a PlayStation just for this game, because it's made by the same people who did Arkham, the Batman series. So a lot of the combat's actually similar and things like that, and it looks so good.
Right.
We got Detroit, which I'll be honest, I don't think is going to be that good. It looks good and all, but and they had that little test that you could do, and it freaked people out because they thought that was the entire game, was this one level where you watched a guy jump off the roof with a kid, and you had to, depending on what clues you found around the area, you could change the outcome of the scenario. So, but Detroit is all about what it means to be human. And so it follows the progress of 3 robots. One is a detective who's trying to find a missing robot who escaped the factory. And then one who's also just trying to set all the robots free. So it's following 3 robots. Yeah, as I said, it sounded cool when I first saw it, but everything else I've seen from it really doesn't make me that interested in it. We got Anthem. Anthem, I'm insanely excited for.
Well, that's been under a lot of controversy lately, though.
BioWare, and yeah, I'll talk about that in a sec because I got my own thoughts on it. Soul Calibur 6, they're coming out with the 6th Soul Calibur. If you're a fighting game person, Soul Calibur is one of the few fighting games I actually enjoy. I'm not good at it, but I enjoy it. We got the new God of War coming out, which I am now insanely excited for. I wasn't looking that much forward to it. A lot of people are going nuts about it, and I wasn't looking too much. But I found out that this game is insanely ambitious. They're saying they're trying to make they've been trying to make the campaign 25 to 30 hours. This is a single player game, and there's 25 hours of content. That's insane. Most games barely even reach the 9-hour mark now. So, and most of the God of Wars were like that. They were all around the 10-hour time frame. So, yeah. So that's a fun one. That definitely keep your eye out for, I guess. So. Let's see, what do we got? We got Crackdown 3. That's one of the Xbox exclusives, and I was a huge fan of the first Crackdown. I bought the second, never played it. Third one, though,
same.
I get to play as Terry Crews, so I'm fucking in. Like, it's Terry Crews, man.
Terry Crews is fucking awesome.
Yeah, man, he's hilarious. I love the dude. So, Terry Crews, he's in it. So, yeah, let's go. Crackdown 3. Far Cry 5, which takes place in the U.S. I can't remember exactly where. Let me go look that up.
It's in the South.
Yeah.
It's
locale. Oh wait. Location.
I want to say it's in like Georgia
Hope
or something.
County, Montana. That's what it is.
Montana.
So north. But Hope County, Montana, where again, there's a lot of controversy when the trailer first came out because people are like, "Is this just like a redneck shooting simulator?"
No, that was
But
Postal.
exactly. um, but no, it's a religious cult takes over Hope County, and you're trying to take it back. And they also added dogfighting into it, so that's a new thing.
Yeah.
I'm okay excited for it. I had fun with Far Cry 3, never beat it. I beat Far Cry 4, and I pretty much 100%ed that one.
Yeah.
Far Cry 5, though, I'm kind of on the fence about. We'll see how it is. Honestly, I need again, those are the kind of games that it's way more fun if you have like a co-op partner doing or something along those lines. We got State of Decay 2, which is another Xbox exclusive. I never played the first State of Decay, although I did watch Brown Man do his playthroughs of State of Decay, and I know he really enjoys that game. It's another zombie killing game, but it's also with fort building as well, but like not Fortnite fort building. But
yeah.
So that one's coming out. Red Dead Redemption 2, like you mentioned.
Yep.
I never played the first one. Definitely gonna get this one because I gotta see what all the rave is about.
The thing about Red Dead Redemption is that it's like it's Grand Theft Auto Horse, except it's single player only.
Yeah, and we'll see how I feel about that. I'll be honest. Like, I enjoyed the single player of GTA 5, so
yeah.
But I did play the first Red Dead for all of like half hour, and I was so bored with it after like half hour to an hour of gaming. I was like, I borrowed it from a friend, and I was like, this is boring as fuck. Like, I can't do this. So I stopped and went back to Halo. So
yeah.
So we'll see how it goes. No More Heroes. That's a really weird game that we haven't heard a lot about in a long time. The game I never played. But it's literally a story. No More Heroes is literally a story that you're a dude who kills a bunch of superheroes because you don't want there to be any more heroes. They're too grand or some crazy weirdness like that. So, yeah.
Well, I think you're dropping frames.
Yeah, I dropped a few frames. It's okay. Not anymore. I'm good.
Yep.
And the new No More Heroes takes place in a virtual world, I guess. Like, you're fighting. I guess you're trying to take out the guy from the first or the last No More Heroes, and you guys end up getting sucked into like a virtual world of some sort. So that'll be interesting. I guess that's just a weird game in general. Ni no Kuni, which I have an insane amount of people who are absolutely mad about that game. Ni no Kuni 2, I should say. People are just... I think that's... From what public uproar, I think that's the one that people are most excited for from what I hear. But I think that's also because it's pretty close to being released. So...
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts 3, which is still a myth, sort of. I mean, they say it's coming out, but man, that's been a long road.
How many games have they put out between 2 and 3? Jesus.
Right.
It's like 2, 2.5, 2.51, 2.52. What?
Then they got Monster Hunter World, which I didn't realize, but this is the 5th Monster Hunter game. I didn't know that. I didn't know. I thought it was like the third one or something. Yeah, I know. I knew a lot of people were crazy about the DS ones. So, I don't know if I'm gonna get that. I have a bunch of codes for Dauntless, which is similar, I guess. But it looks different at the same time. So I don't know which one I'll get. I might again. I know that's the kind of game that I need to play with people. If I don't have people to play it with.
The thing about Monster Hunter over Dauntless is that Dauntless actually has like a leveling system, whereas Monster Hunter is more about like just getting your gear, and so Dauntless is actually like a simplified version of Monster Hunter. When you play Monster Hunter, you actually improve your skill to get better, whereas in Dauntless, you're actually improving your gear to get better. It's kind of like the difference between playing Rocket League and I don't know, any other game. Because like Rocket League's one of those games that like anybody can pick it up, anybody can play it, and anybody can have fun with it, but you don't get good and you don't start really enjoying it unless you put like the hours into actually getting better.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
no
it's
quick way to get
Rocket
better
League
at the
has an
game.
insanely high skill ceiling, so
Yeah, but I
it's
mean, you
one of
can
those.
still have fun at the lower levels when you're playing
Exactly.
against people of a similar skill
It's like
level.
Smash Bros.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another one that's kind of like that.
The one I'm most excited for is playing it today, Sea of Thieves. Well,
Yeah,
outside of Anthem, but Sea of Thieves, that was fun as fuck.
dude,
We could
I want
talk
to
a
play
little
that game
about
so
it, but
bad.
it was fun. I'm so mad at myself for dying. I just went through an entire quest line and got nothing. So that was a lot of fun. But I
Yeah.
can't believe I ran across a 4-player ship. I don't know what I was supposed to do there. So
Yeah, there's a lot of gear-based MMOs.
yeah, exactly. Black Desert is one of those. Um,
Oop.
what else is there?
Um,
Yeah, there's a lot. I don't know. I really like gear based MMOs actually. It's one of the reasons I like Destiny. It's one of the reasons I really like Fortnite. It's one of the reasons I think I'm gonna like Sea of Thieves. I really hope. I still don't understand fully the upgrade system and stuff. It looks like you just make as much money as you can to buy better stuff, but it doesn't look like. Again, it's closed beta, but I really hope they
yeah,
have more than what they actually have, which I know they will, but I'm worried about how much more because right now they only have like 3 upgrade tiers pretty much. And
yeah,
one you start out with. So
yeah.
I'm very curious. I'm very confused at how a lot of it works like multiplayer and like you were talking about is like how do you do ship like if you're the captain of a ship, do you
I am
upgrade
the
your
captain
ship
now.
or yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, is there friendly
Um,
fire? I really hope there's friendly fire in that game. So I'm
but
excited. By the way, I totally plan on for the full release. I'm gonna get a full pirate outfit, and I'm gonna wear that.
you're gonna
So
cosplay the
I am
thing.
gonna cosplay as a
All right,
pirate for Sea of Thieves. Just want to
sounds
throw that
good.
out there. So
Yeah, there's a couple of games that I'm really looking forward to. BattleTech, they're coming out with a
yep,
BattleTech game.
yep,
That game looks pretty dope. The Crew 2 is one that I'm
yeah,
really
that's
looking
right. I
forward
forgot
to.
about that one.
Um, and there's gonna be a new MechWarrior game, the first single player MechWarrior game in 15 years. Jurassic World Evolution,
Okay.
dude. That
Oh yeah,
it,
man, that looks crazy.
yeah, it's pretty much like theme park or like roller coaster. What was that? Roller. Oh, it was. What was that game made by the same people who did Elite Dangerous? Um, it was a roller coaster theme park game. Anyway, but yeah, they're the ones who are actually making Jurassic World Evolution. It looks
Yeah, that's right.
so good. Um, what was another one?
Man, that
Let's
was
see.
the Jurassic Park games were my favorite arcade shooters. I
Oh,
still if I go to an arcade, I have to play that again. I love that game so much. So,
oh, oh. One of my friends just linked me
Rocket League rewards, huh?
yeah, the Rocket League rewards and the new season starting. Uh,
Whoa,
okay.
damn son. Is that a Crackdown logo? I think some of those are Crackdown logos.
No, those are just wheels for the
Yeah, but the
game and
logo
the
on them, aren't isn't the pink one the Crackdown one? I'd have to go check.
no, that's just the champion logo. Like that's been used for champion.
Logo, let's see. Oh, gotcha. Oh no, yeah, it's not at all close. I lie.
Um,
The one other game that I think I have on the list that I read anymore. No, the very last one I think I got was A Way Out,
A Way Out. I don't
which,
know if I heard about that
if
one.
you haven't heard, it's a Prison Break game, but it's co-op only. There is no single player. You can only
Huh.
play it with another friend, and you have to work. It's a puzzle co-op game of escaping a prison. It
Interesting.
sounds really fucking cool. Like, I don't think it'll be an amazing game. I think it'll just be a really unique experience, kind of thing. So, I think it got, or one of these, I think it got a little bit of a delay. And during it, I think it was also Miyamoto actually mentioned it because he's looking towards the game, and he mentioned the phrase that I think is very true, because a lot of people complain about when games get delayed.
Yeah.
But honestly, it's a good thing. You know, Miyamoto was saying that delayed games are delayed so that they can be good. If a bad game is released, it's bad forever. No one wants to go back to a game that comes up bad. Like, if they fix...
To be fair, Rainbow Six Siege.
That's true.
Rainbow Six Siege made one hell of a comeback. It was a horrible flop of a release, but it made one hell of a comeback.
But it wasn't a bad game to start. Like, I'm thinking something like, let's say, Andromeda. If they fixed all the problems that were with Andromeda, do you really think people are going to come back to it? Probably not. And people will still knock it, kind of thing. So
I know a lot of people who are actually going back to the Division.
Yeah,
because they actually fixed a lot of the stuff in the Division.
They fixed a lot of it, as well as a lot of new cool things and features they got. So
still waiting on Borderlands 3. Yeah, well, maybe not this year.
Yeah, they got Oscars the Game. Wait, Oscars the Game? Is that a thing? Are you serious?
Oscars the Game? Yeah, there's also State of Decay 2. That game looks pretty good.
Yeah, State of Decay, yeah, I mentioned that one. So, but honestly, I think my top 3 that I'm looking forward to is probably the Spider-Man, Anthem, and Sea of Thieves.
I'm looking forward to Sea of Thieves. I mean, I wasn't at first. Like, the one that I was really looking forward to that was like that was the one that sort of the Assassin's Creed Black Flag, like, pirate ship only thing.
Yeah.
But now that I've seen you play Sea of Thieves, I'm like, you know what? You know, the art style's not my favorite, but that gameplay, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with it. That game, it looks really fun.
By the way, the energy is definitely desync because I'm watching his stream, so there's like a 7-second delay.
And then
it's like a 14-second delay almost.
I'm really interested in the BattleTech and the
because when he talks,
MechWarrior.
it goes through.
BattleTech has always
and then
been
when
like
my
one
stream
of my
goes,
very favorite
it's 7
games
seconds. So it's 7
for a
seconds.
long
He's
time.
7 seconds delayed. So.
And MechWarrior, like, that game looks really fun.
Oh yeah,
so yeah.
Hold on, really quick. Let's hold on. I'm gonna cut the. I totally forgot about that. Wait one sec. I'm gonna remove you real quick. Cause Discord has video chat, doesn't it?
I don't have a camera hooked up to my gaming computer, which is what Discord's run off of. That's what I was saying. Next time we do this, I'll have a video camera hooked up to this computer, and we'll be able to use that.
Right. Either way, that's fine. No biggie. So.
Yeah.
Totally forgot about that. So.
Yeah. No, I knew about it. I just don't have a camera on this computer. I only have it on the streaming computer. But the thing is like if we use video chat on Discord, it takes over your video camera, so you wouldn't be able to use it for OBS.
Yeah, and that's okay. I could figure that out. So.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So I'm really I'm happy with Sea of Thieves, or at least from what I saw of you playing it. I really want to play it, but no, it's just too early and it's so fun. Ooh, damn. I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get that freaking game installed.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely figure that out because that'll be fun to play together. Let's see. We got I guess discussing a few of these. Anthem is probably the game I'm like, that is my golden egg game where it's I think it's going to be the equivalent of the Dark Tower for me, where I am so looking forward to this. I wanted Dark Tower to be, it was supposed to be my movie of the decade. That was supposed to be the best movie this entire decade. I was so excited. It was Dark Tower is a sick story. It's just everything, and Idris Elba was in it. Matthew McConaughey was in it. I was so excited, and then it was just, and it sucked, and it was because they decided not to break it up into 3 parts. Fucking terrible idea and shit. Fuck. So mad about that, and I think that's what's gonna happen with Anthem. I'm so looking forward to Anthem. Anthem is, I mean, everyone's calling it the Destiny killer, which I think it should be. I wish it was. It's fuck Bungie, but and BioWare does an amazing job, but honestly, I think EA is gonna fuck it up. I won't lie. I really hope they don't. One of the good things that give me a little bit of hope for the game is the fact that after the whole Battlefront fiasco, they did say that they are reworking microtransactions in all the games, which also scares me because they said all their games, which means they already fucked it up in Anthem before it's even been released, and they're like, oh, hey, we need to rethink it. So that already worries me. But I can see Anthem being, that game is beautiful. I love the mech suits in it. It just looks so good. But I think it's just gonna be okay, and I really hope it isn't. I'm holding out hope. I'm hoping it will be one of those games that I'll never stop playing, but we'll see. So
yeah, what does EA not fuck up?
It's true. I don't know. As I said, I think EA is trying to make things better, and as I said, like we're knocking them a lot because they're pushing the limits right now. They keep trying to push limits, and they keep getting pushed back. Eventually, it will settle, and EA is actually doing fine. It's funny. There's a lot of stockbrokers actually talking about it, where they were like, gamers overestimated or overreacted to Battlefront. So like, a lot of investors are like, EA is doing great. Like, regardless of everyone hating it and all, those are the hardcore gamers. But a lot of people are still buying the game and things like that, and so many people sold their EA stocks, so it tanked it. And people were just able to buy a shit ton of stocks, which EA is a company that's not going anywhere. They have so many IPs and so many things they're sitting on that they're not going to have trouble. I mean, for instance, Dead Space, right? Like, Dead Space is still out there in the world, although there is word that there's nothing happening soon. Like, so one of the creative directors is like, we hear you. Someone tweeted, is like, when's Dead Space? And then they're like, we are trying to make it happen. And then EA came out and was like, yeah, no, it ain't. Not right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, Dead Space, I don't know. Like, I played the first one, I think it was. No, the second one. And it's an interesting game. I just don't know if I'd actually buy it. You know, maybe if it's on sale.
Well, I love, because I saw someone, it was you, Raider, right? You're saying holding out for Borderlands 3. I am as well. And we know 2K is working on it, but we know they also don't want to be working on it. So I think the quality's going to tank. The quality's going to tank a little bit, sadly.
I'm curious what's going to happen with the Star Wars game, Battlefront 2, after EA decides they're no longer interested in trying to maintain it.
Well, they're still looking to do Star Wars games, but just not single player ones, like, apparently.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying because, like, what was it? Battlefield 4 was garbage when it came out. Like, it got so much hate when it came out because it was so buggy, it was so broken. And then when EA was like, okay, well, we're done with this game, DICE was like, okay, but we're not. And they went back and they started fixing everything, and people started playing it again. And it made this huge resurgence. And
Battlefield is one of those games that always has players. I love Bad Company 2. I got in super late into the game, but Bad Company 2 was so good. And
yeah.
So was Battlefield 1943, or 1942.
I played 1942 was the original one. 1943 was the free-to-play one on Xbox.
Then it was 43, because God, those games were so good. And Battlefield is one of those games that you can kind of just jump back into and enjoy. So
yeah, I played the hell out of Battlefield 1942, and then there was a mod for it called Desert Combat that I played. and I played the shit out of that mod. But that's because that was before Battlefield 2 came out, which was like the first modern combat from the actual publisher. But it was really cool to have like the jets and stuff in it because it was around that era when there was all these World War II games coming out.
Yeah.
I mean, you had Day of Defeat, you had the Battlefield 1942. Then there was also, I think, Call of Duty at the time was also World War II based at the time.
Yeah, at that time, yes.
Like everybody was World War II based,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's like the Desert Combat mod came out, and then it's like,
forget
oh, well,
Medal
people
of
obviously
Honor,
want
which was
modern
a game
combat.
series.
Which one?
Medal of Honor, was a series that was alive at that time.
yeah, that was another one. And then like as soon as like that mod came out for 1942, then all of a sudden everybody's coming out with modern combat versions of their games, and it's like, okay.
Oh, and then let's see. What'd you say? Oh, your time at Porsche. I saw Ultimate Raider to answer. Yeah, my time at Porsche is the early access game. It's a lot. It's a 3D Stardew Valley from the looks of it. I don't know too much. I saw Brown Man playing it yesterday, but yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And then further, I was going to say, so you highly recommend Assassin's Creed Origins. I haven't actually played it. I stopped buying the Assassin's Creed games after.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed Origins, like I've heard it's actually really good, but there's also like still quite a few bugs in it. But
it's hard not
that's
to
what
anymore,
happens.
So, but
yeah, I mean we're all pretty much early access players at this point with every game.
Exactly, it's fucking. I mean,
buy our $60 game for early access.
PUBG is still technically beta, right? No,
PUBG went beta. It was alpha. Well, actually, no. It's released
finally
at
released
this point.
because they marked the 8 coming out on Xbox as its full release. So
yeah,
Fortnite's still in beta.
Broken as shit.
So
yeah, well, Fortnite won't be going through the same thing.
No, they've got a lot more manpower. Although
I think a lot of it came down to that Steam thing, where early access was no longer like something that they could just rest on for their entire longevity of the game.
Yeah, exactly. And Fortnite, well, speaking of Fortnite, Paragon is dying. So if you don't know, Epic has a free-to-play game called Paragon that apparently is pretty much dead. They are killing it. Epic is killing it. We would not be surprised if we don't see much because they're getting players to check it out, but then they don't stay because there's nothing really solid in the game. And Epic has pulled most of the Paragon workers to work on Fortnite. So
that sounds very similar to what's it called? Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Star Citizen. It's a game that's been in freaking production for
Star Citizen is its own little shit show. So. Yeah.
I think they've been working on it since 2013.
People are really pissed at that progress, so.
Yeah. But whatever. Yeah.
Well, those are games anticipated. Let's now talk movies. I think I have a list here. Maze Runner. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't the fans of Maze Runner, but I actually have enjoyed them, and I'm now trying to, I'm gonna finish the series. So the new Maze Runner comes out like today. No, like I think on Friday. So Maze Runner, 19th or
that's tomorrow.
No,
or wait,
26th.
No.
26th.
Friday.
The Death Cure comes out. We got.
Come on, how about Super Troopers?
Yeah, Super Troopers 2 is coming out.
Oh, we got fucking trailer.
50 Shades Freed, if anyone's into that, but I'm not.
Fuck that.
A movie that is taking MCU by storm, Black Panther. It has had more pre-ticket sales than any other Marvel movie, which is saying a lot.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't mean it's going to have a bigger opening weekend than anything, but there's a lot of correlation between it. So, Black Panther, which is easily one of my highest anticipated movies as well. I am so excited. That is easily going to be the most badass Marvel movie. And Chadwick Boseman is sick. He's sick.
Yeah.
So they got that. Speaking of Marvel, we know they're canceling the Inhumans, which they showed that one thing and everyone hated. So they canceled that for sure.
Wasn't that a series? And then
it was a TV series and they canceled it. So it's a good thing. I saw just the pictures of it. It looked real bad. So
yeah, it did.
Which we'll get to the MCU because there's a whole thing going on with the whole Disney buying Fox. So that's the whole thing. But
I'm like happy and sad about it at the same time.
I'm so happy about it
because we're finally gonna get a full Blu-ray release of the original Star Wars.
That's true.
The original, like, non-fucked up Star Wars.
Yep. Which we'll talk about that later. That's other news. We got Annihilation, which I'm actually looking forward to. Let's see what else we got. Wrinkle in Time for anyone who's interested in that. That's, Disney movie with Oprah. That's about all I know about it. Oh, and also Chris Pine.
It's based off of a really good book.
Yeah,
like I know exactly. A lot.
And I know people are crazy about it. I don't know how. It looks like an Alice in Wonderland spin-off almost, or just I don't even know. It looks very similar to that. I never read the book, but I heard it's really good. So, and I don't know, Disney does pretty good with those kind of movies. So, we got
Meg Murray and her little brother Charles Wallace have been without their scientist father for 5 years, ever since he discovered a new planet and used a concept known as Tesseract to travel there.
Pretty much, it's about he pretty much uses like the fourth dimension to travel, or the fifth dimension, I think, to travel there, where he folds space and time.
50th. Yeah.
So to travel somewhere else, and it's a whole thing, and
yeah,
and then kids somehow figure it out and then follow him and try and save him. Yeah. So, yay, kids, because that makes sense. How
about that Ocean's 8? You want to see that Ocean's
8. Yeah, man. Dude, I actually love the Oceans. Ocean's 11 is so good.
Yeah.
So, and 13 was pretty good too. 12 was 12.
12 was 12.
The one I'm actually really excited for, because it's pretty much ripped right off the game, is the new Tomb Raider. I'm really excited. I'm so happy they're rebooting that series, one in the games as well as movies. I think they chose a great actor for it, and they're just pretty much doing the first Tomb Raider, and the first Tomb Raider game that came out, where she crashes on an island or whatever, or shipwrecks on an island. That's what they're doing. So they're just copying the story from the game, turning it into a movie, which is, I think it's going to be fantastic.
Well, speaking of crossovers between video games and movies, did you hear about Duke Nukem?
Yes, I was going to get to that a little bit later.
Okay.
We got John Cena is in the front running to be in a Duke Nukem movie. So, we got Pacific Rim.
It's going to be exciting.
The new Pacific Rim, which has,
it'll be fun.
What's his name? John Boyega in it. So sweet. We got Ready Player One, which looks super sick. I mean, that's a fan service movie. Everyone's just excited for that. So
yeah, that movie is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. Then we got the big one, May 4th. Avengers Infinity War. 10 years.
I call that the big one.
10 years of culmination to this point.
Avengers but I wouldn't call that the big one. The big one would be Deadpool 2.
Yeah, Deadpool 2 is May 18th, which I think... Did they... Oh, yeah, no, it is. It's May 18th is the right time. They have a Slender Man movie? What?
Yeah, they're coming out with a Slender Man movie.
Okay. But Deadpool 2, which they moved up the release date, actually, which will also talk about X-Men because they finished Dark Phoenix as well.
Yeah.
But and apparently they haven't. Disney isn't doing anything with them. They're just like, yeah, you guys are good. Go ahead, release them. We're not touching them. They moved up the release dates for them. So Deadpool 2 is coming out before Solo, which is the Star Wars Han Solo movie.
The Solo Han Solo movie.
Yeah,
Solo.
exactly. I don't know how that's gonna be. We'll see. I don't have to. I'll be honest. I don't have that high hopes for it. The one I do have
really
high
excited.
hopes for is Kenobi. That looks so good. I don't know if you've seen the trailer for Kenobi, but
No, I haven't.
so they have a new spin-off for Star Wars, which was funny because everyone's been wondering if Ian McGregor would come back as Obi-Wan in some form or something.
Right.
And he's like, if they asked me to, he would love to. And Ian McGregor is great. And so they're giving him his own movie. It's Kenobi, which looks like it takes place around the same time as Rogue One almost, where it's the in between. I think it's a little bit before, where it's almost right after Obi-Wan goes MLG status and cuts off all of Anakin's limbs. It's I can't remember what it's almost more of an artistic film. If you've seen it, they didn't show any lightsabers. They didn't show almost any. They showed him floating in the air with force. I'm guessing. They did show one city with like TIE fighters coming in and stuff, but they've shown no action in the movie, and it looks like a spiritual journey that Obi-Wan Kenobi goes on after what happened with Anakin, because again, Obi-Wan is the reason why Anakin comes, or Darth Vader is created. He creates Darth Vader because it was the whole thing where if you rewatch the first one, which by the way, not that bad of a movie. Pod racers are great. But it sets up for the rest of the story where it's like everyone, Yoda and Qui-Gon Jinn are like, nah man, he's dangerous. He's got an evil in him. Don't do it. And he's like, nah man, I'll train the boy. And so it's a whole almost spiritual journey that Obi-Wan goes on. It looks I don't know, I just never thought of Star Wars doing a movie like it. So I'm really looking forward to it, but I don't think that's till 2019 yet. So we'll talk about it in a year. Okay. We got, like you said, Ocean's 8. Who's actually in Ocean's 8? Is it?
See.
I mean, I'm guessing it's. Oh, they got Sandra Bullock. What? Yo, it's a women's. It's a women's.
You didn't know that?
No, I didn't know this.
Rihanna, Kate Blanchett,
Anne Hathaway. Yo, this actually could be sick.
Helena Bonham Carter. It's all women.
That actually could be sick. I mean, oh, that's so good. Oh, James Corden is in it too. Sarah Paulson, Richard Armitage.
Yeah, George Clooney's producing it.
Yeah, George Clooney's actually a great director. So, Hey Harold, how you doing? Hobie Juan. But it's good seeing you, Harold. How you been? It's been a while.
And then we got Venom. Incredibles
Babadook. 2. Oh, dude, Babadook. My mayhem made me watch Babadook, and yeah, I could see Slenderman being something like that almost. Let's see. We got The Incredibles 2. I'm so excited for that one. I hear Sammy J's coming back to be Frozone again. So I think they are gonna do a phenomenal job. They did a great job with Finding Dory. Honestly, like that was a solid movie. I think they're gonna do the same thing with Incredibles, regardless of the time difference. Jurassic World. I'm looking forward to this because this isn't. It looks less like a copy of the other ones. I mean. Whereas Star Wars, which we can get into a Star Wars discussion about how it copies, which I'm actually now okay with them, how much they copy, because of what they said. They like purposely do it. They're not trying to do it and like sneak it by you. They do it because they said that each trilogy is supposed to rhyme with the original trilogy. It's supposed to go together as like a poem, and I was like, that's actually kind of super cool. All right, so they got the Purge. I'm not a fan. But then they got Ant-Man and the Wasp, so we get some more Ant-Man, which is always good. Mission Impossible 6, that's coming out this year? What? I thought that wasn't until like 2019. I loved it. I like Tom Cruise. I'm sorry. Oh, and they have a Teen Titans Go movie. Oh God, no.
Yeah, but Venom, like, do you hear about all the controversy with Venom?
Well, what do you mean controversy?
Okay, so it's supposed to be its own thing, but it's supposed to still correlate with the Marvel. Well, actually, it's supposed to be separate from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but at the same time, it's not. And then they're gonna have that new kid who plays Spider-Man.
Tom
Like,
Holland?
there's rumors about him going into it, but then there's like people saying no, he's absolutely not because it's not part of the same thing.
Yeah, so I've heard a lot of different things about it.
Yeah.
I think what I know is that it's Tom Hardy is supposed to play Venom.
Right.
It's supposed to be outside, and it's supposed to be more like Alien. It's supposed to be a horror movie that's semi-separate from the MCU. So I wouldn't be surprised if they put other people in it. Like, I mean, we don't know till the movie comes out, but if they throw Tom Holland in it, great. But really, it should be its own standalone thing.
They were also talking about how Carnage is going to be the main antagonist.
Yeah, that's a thing. Which would be cool. Seeing Carnage on screen would be fun. So, those two get into some crazy things. They got a new Predator coming out.
Yeah.
That's doing.
Scarface. There's also Mary Poppins Returns. How could you forget about that?
They got Barbie. If anyone's looking.
Right, really?
Yeah, I guess they have a Barbie movie coming out. Let's see.
Yeah, I could, yeah.
Those are I think some of the most. Venom, like you said. I know.
Oh, the new Cloverfield.
Oh yeah, new Cloverfield. That's true. That's another one.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a direct sequel instead of just a tack on.
Yeah.
But apparently Netflix is looking to pick it up.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah. It's apparently Paramount owns it right now. J.J. Abrams is in charge of it, but Netflix is thinking about picking it up.
That'd be good.
Which I would not be upset about that.
Which, speaking of streaming services, I know Hulu picked up Animaniacs, and they're actually making new Animaniacs. And they're actually bringing back like Pinky and the Brain and things like that. So and it's on Hulu, so that's a cool thing because we just got Hulu. So.
Yeah, I've had Hulu, but that's,
Yeah.
I was thinking about getting rid of it at one point, but then like my wife's like, "No, your daughter likes all the kids shows on it." I'm like, "Fuck, fine." Because there's exclusives on there that I pretty much have to stick with because there's nobody else that streams it.
Sure. We got X-Men Dark Phoenix, like mentions the next series, and the younger X-Men. The new X-Men or whatever, which actually New Mutants is a different thing altogether, but I'll get into that a little bit later. I guess they got a new Fantastic Beasts coming out. They got a new Sherlock Holmes and Watson. I don't think that's gonna be great. They got Creed 2. I know people are big fans of Creed, so that's coming out.
They're making a Bumblebee movie. Transformers Bumblebee.
Oh yes, that's right. They are doing that.
Doing a solo movie for Bumblebee.
Aquaman as well. They got Mortal Engines and Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Mortal Engines looks fun. Spider-Verse, I'm so excited for them to finally bring in kind of just everyone. I mean, bringing in... I'm totally blanking on the Spider-Man now, but what's his face? So, anyways, bringing that. That's fun. Bohemian Rhapsody? Please tell me that's literally a movie on Queen's song. Just tell me literally that's all it is. So.
But then there's one thing that I want to talk about, the movie The Nun. Have you heard of that one?
No.
It's so apparently, horror movie antagonists are getting their own spin-offs as well. The Nun is a story based around the nun character that was in The Conjuring 2.
Oh,
So
got
in The
it.
Conjuring
Okay.
2, there was a nun
Yeah.
character in that. They're doing a spin-off movie of just the nun.
Great.
So Hollywood has officially run out of ideas. They have remade all the movies. They are now making movies about characters within the movies.
Yeah, man. Some people have good movies and then some don't. Best
I
way to
mean,
say
it's
it.
like it's an interesting
It's
concept, but
just they're doing whatever they can to keep series alive, you know.
yeah.
Uh,
So anyway,
but those are some of the movies. They got some other that haven't been announced for 2018, but we could see a new Expendables. Um, Also, there's one more I had in my head. I don't remember. That's alright. Anyways, those are the movies upcoming. As I said, Infinity War. That spider suit. I just want to see Tom Holland in that spider suit. God damn, it's so gorgeous. That's all I want. But Black Panther.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot's supposed to be getting worked on.
Yeah, that's right.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, although that's not coming out this
not
year.
coming out for. Yeah, they got one more. James Gunn says he's doing one more and he's done. So that's his last one. So.
And then there's Gambit next year.
Yes. Oh, and I will actually get to that. Well, I guess this is a good time to talk since we have brought up MCU. As many of you know, Fox has been bought up by Disney. That's ridiculous. But they have now bought it back, so the Marvel Universe is now combined. The X-Men and the Marvel Universe, MCU, are now one. And there's a lot of talks of, like, people are worried about movies that might get cut, things like that. So far, nothing. As I said,
yeah.
Deadpool 2 and Dark Phoenix got dates moved up, but those were done filming, so whatever.
Yeah.
Supposedly, the thing that's most likely to get cut is they were going to do a Kitty Pryde standalone movie, so they might be getting that cut. But then Gambit, which has been going through some things, like they've had 3 different people, like two, like a writer and a producer, and people leave that. Channing Tatum is still supposed to be Gambit though, so
yeah,
that'll be good.
There's gonna be a new Flash movie.
Yeah, they got the new Flash movie. That's right.
Flashpoint.
I
Flashpoint.
think the Flashpoint. Is there Flashpoint? Oh my god! Please tell me
There's
it's
going to be
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
Are they pulling that out? That's their golden egg, man. If you've not seen the animated Flashpoint, holy shit, go see it because it's one of the best.
And for some reason, Ben Affleck's supposed to still be set in it. I don't know why.
Well, because I mean, I'm sure he does the whole thing like Spider-Man, where he's like the father figure, right?
But the thing is that Batman, so Ben Affleck said numerous times that he wants to not play Batman anymore. But then he's keeps signing up for all these fucking roles as Batman.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, make up your fucking mind. But the thing that I'm really excited to see is a crossover between Avengers and Deadpool.
Mm-hmm.
That's gonna be just so much fun because it's gonna be so great
and now he can pull out all the jokes. Deadpool can pull out so many jokes. It won't be in Deadpool 2, but next Deadpool will be sick.
Well, it would be hilarious if they did an Avengers with Deadpool. Because it's like,
so
so Deadpool is an R-rated character, but if you throw him into a PG-13 movie, he's self-aware. So, and he knows that he's in a PG-13 movie, so he knows he won't be able to swear and stuff. And I'm just waiting for that scene where, because you're allowed to say fuck one time in a PG-13 movie. And I just want it to be where, like, it goes through the whole movie where Deadpool just, wants to say it, but he knows he's in a PG-13 movie. He's like, no, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it. And then like Captain America lets it slip. And then Deadpool goes just off the rails because Captain America accidentally said it when he was supposed to be the one to say it.
Deadpool in the comics right now is the main guy in the Avengers. Well, and that again, that's the awesome thing about the X-Men universe and the MCU combining, is that now we get all these things. Sadly, we'll see if they give him enough money / just really talk him into it. Hugh Jackman might come back as Wolverine, but he said that he's done as Wolverine. He's done. He said that whenever he watched the Avengers, all he could do was picture himself fighting alongside with them and like, I don't know, punching someone in the face or something.
Yeah.
But he's now at the point where he's like, yeah, I think I'm done with it. He would fully support someone else taking up the role, but he doesn't know if he'll go back to it. He says it might be a little too late for him. So, which sucks. But we could have got her Deadpool. We could have got our X-Force movie.
Yeah.
So there's that. One of the things is the New Mutants. That's something that was a TV show that might be coming out. I don't really know what it's about. There's not a lot of too much information, but that supposedly might be getting canceled as well. With them getting combined. So there's that. On the topic of movies, supposedly there's a new RoboCop in the mix. So there's new RoboCop being made. You got John Cena. Thank you for the follow, by the way. You got John Cena for Duke Nukem. We mentioned that briefly. Yep. There's talks about they've been trying to get a Duke Nukem movie started, and they're finally getting some traction of where they might be actually starting filming soonish in the next few months. And John Cena is supposed to play Duke Nukem, so that will be great.
Yeah.
What else? We got... there's supposedly might be a Clue movie coming out. And Ryan Reynolds is supposed to star in it. So, with dealings with Disney and things like that, because it's going to be made by Disney. So, they're trying to get Ryan Reynolds to actually play in a new Clue movie, which we'll see how that goes.
I could definitely see Ryan Reynolds as the butler.
Right? Oh my god, that would be so good. But
because I think he's one of the few people that can actually pull off the same comedy that frickin' what's his name pulled off, Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Because Tim Curry was amazing butler, and Ryan Reynolds could definitely pull off that kind of comedy.
Oh, I love Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Speaking of people who are superheroes who also are doing other things, which this doesn't exactly involve Chris Evans, but they are apparently doing a Snowpiercer TV show. We'll see if that actually gets off the ground. I mean, I've been hearing things about TV shows like a Mirror's Edge TV show and things forever. But yeah, if you haven't seen Snowpiercer, it is a fantastic movie with Chris Evans that he actually did as a deal for a company, a Japanese company Chinese, Japanese, one of the two, to help make the first Avengers. Second Avengers. Doing special effects for them or something. So they got him to use in one of their movies. It was called Snowpiercer, which is about a train that the world's ended and it's too cold to go outside, so they just have to keep moving on this train. And he works his way from the back of the train all the way to the front, and it's pretty bloody. There's a lot of gruesomeness, and it's a really good movie actually. So, and apparently they're doing a TV show for it. So that's one.
Interesting.
Kind of in the same universe, there's talk about a new Alien. Not only are they filming the final in the Prometheus trilogy, but they're talking about doing a new Alien game as well. They wanted to make it more like they want it to be another shooter. So like Colonial Marines, but as good as Isolation. So we'll see how that goes. they're also doing a John Wick TV show. They might be doing a Wick spin-off, which is called the Continental. So it's got to do with that, and what's his name is actually helping direct it and produce it. Who's the guy who plays John Wick? What's his name?
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, there you go. Keanu Reeves is actually producing and helping direct it and stuff. So it actually might be good. And there's, he might appear here and there, but it's going to revolve around the Continental. So I would love that. It's going to be on Stars, so they could be plenty bloody, in other words. Talk about Shazam. They might be doing a Shazam movie, which is I gotta talk about Paramount in a I think is it Paramount or so? Oh no, it might be Sony. I can't. No, it is Paramount. Anyways, Shazam. Zachary Levi will be playing. They've showed some pictures. He is beefed out, and I love Zachary Levi. I love Chuck. That was such a good show, and he's just done some really funny things since then. So, Shazam. I don't know how I feel too much about that, but could be good.
I think Shazam would be good.
Yeah,
I know
exactly.
They're also talking about Captain Marvel.
Yes, Captain Marvel, that was put on hold. That was actually supposed to come out where Black Panther is. But they postponed it to do a Black Panther movie instead. And what Marvel has said, which may change, Captain Marvel won't be in the first Infinity War, but she will be in the second Infinity War. So, we'll see. And who's the chick playing in it? They already casted the Marvel movie. Who's the cast? It's Brie Larson. So she looks so perfect for the role, by the way. So with the blonde hair. So yeah. They also, let's see. If you're a fan of Castlevania, they got season 2 coming out on Netflix. That's happening. We might be getting a new Fantastic Four as well. Probably a few years out, but they definitely need, now that Marvel and Disney can make a good Fantastic Four, they need to bring just Doctor Doom into the mix. So, talked about Tomb Raider movie. What was it? Oh, apparently for the Halo people, hey Svo, apparently the Halo TV show still is a thing. Back really? 7 years ago, back in 2011, there was talks about doing a Halo TV show. It's still out there in the air. They're saying that they're still writing for it and they're still doing a few things for it. It just hasn't done much since then. So that's still out in the air. So if you're looking forward to that, awesome. I would absolutely watch that. So that'll be fun. There was one more that I'm trying to find in my notes. My notes are a mess, and there was one more TV show. Oh, Spawn. That was the one. Spawn. They're doing a Spawn movie, and the director for it says that the Spawn movie makes the first Deadpool, look like a PG-13 movie. So
really,
it is supposed to be ridiculously gruesome and bloody. So we will see.
So that's an actual thing that's supposed to happen.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, because that's been talked about for the
while.
Past 3 or 4 years. Yeah.
I know that's been in talks for a while. I think that's most of what I got on the TV and movie thing. I guess if talking about movies, the big thing, Star Wars, that we could talk about now. It's been a month. If you haven't seen Star Wars in the last month, you obviously didn't want to see it that bad, so who cares about spoilers?
I didn't see it, but I don't care.
No, I won't go into too much of it. But I was just going to mention that apparently China is nixing Star Wars. They just might stop showing it because it's doing terrible in China. And because and the reason being is apparently the cast of Star Wars are not pretty enough. That apparently China jokes that if John Boyega Finn was played by Will Smith, more people would watch it because Will Smith is considered beautiful. So,
Oh my god.
yeah. It might also do with the fact that the original trilogy never aired in China, so a lot of people don't really understand the whole story. So, that might be part of the reason. But yeah, it's also because they're not beautiful. So, there you go. um, Oh, I guess as I said, I mentioned the Animaniacs. The other one, oh, that's what it is. Sony. Sony owns Valiant. Sony owns the Valiant comics. If you don't know, there's really three big comic, or well, there's four. No, it's three. Four. Who owns Dark Horse? Is that Valiant? No, Dark Horse is its own thing. I
don't remember.
So, anyways, there's kind of four big comics that people have. Obviously, people know Marvel and DC, but there's two other ones that are pretty big: Dark Horse and Valiant.
Right.
And Sony owns Valiant, and they're actually looking to do their own, start up some Valiant things where there's a character called Bloodshot, who is similar-ish to. He's like a beefed up Captain America. And apparently Vin Diesel might be playing as that character. So look out for Sony coming out with some Valiant comic movies. This is not till 2019. Game of Thrones. I know a lot of people are big fans of that. They've postponed the next thing till 2019. Same thing with Rick and Morty, but I'll get to that one in a second. Game of Thrones it's going into its final season. So its final Game of Thrones season is in 2019, and it's only 6 episodes. But each episode is supposed to be an entire movie length. So, hey Kitsune, how you doing? Wait, what is that? What is your original username? Is that Ray? Straight up. Anyways, moving on. Rick and Morty, same thing. One of the writers for someone asked when Rick and Morty if it's coming out 2018, and he's like, "Well, I'm not working on it, and as far as I know, other people aren't working on it, so you're probably not getting anything till 2019." So.
Yep.
I am doing fantastic. Doing a great talk show. Oh, Bright sequel. If you saw Bright, I still have to watch it. I heard it was really good. It got terrible reviews by critics, but they've actually already greenlit for a second one.
Yeah, I can't wait.
They got. Let's see. Let me see. Okay, I think the last one to mention is just DC things happening in the DC universe. One of the executives stepped down and they moved it's something Hamada. Pretty much DC has a new executive running all of the movies again. So, another change up in DC universe, so things are looking great for them. They're doing a great job. Battle Noob, have a good night. It is Brave. Oh my goodness, Brave. I miss you. I miss you, girl. How you been? So but yeah, anyways, as I said, DC kind of changes up. We're seeing a lot of things from them. They're really trying to rework to try and build that thing again. I want DC to do well, but. And I haven't minded the darker things. They've just gone dark in the wrong way, I think. So, but that's really movies, TVs, and stuff like that. You got anything else that you're looking forward to, or anything Energy?
Not that I can really think of at this point.
Okay. All right. after that, we can get to some other. I got a bunch of news kind of throughout here, so
A bunch of news.
a bunch of stuff. I haven't. Again, I don't even know if we're halfway. So
Yeah, as far as movies go, I can't really think of anything movie related
that's going on. Yeah, that's fine.
that's going
As I
on.
said, I've mentioned quite a lot. So all right, we'll transition into some. We'll kind of jump all over the place here. Um, we'll start out since I know I have the Halo fans wanting Halo information. Not that they know I have Halo information, but I have some. Recently, we were talked. There was a leak. For Microsoft, there was a leak about big exclusives. I actually have a picture for it, I think. So let me pull that up. But there's a guy who he pretty much leaked all the Microsoft press conference for E3, all the information for it right before the conference happened, and he was like 100% accurate. And he's not some crazy hacker or anything. It's just a guy. He's just a gamer who knows a few tricks, is how he says it. And he leaked more stuff because he's like, yeah, the backdoor I used back then still exists, so I just did it again. So let me see if I can find it. But he leaked what some of the exclusives. A lot of people are looking for exclusives for Xbox, and so he mentioned a new thing, which we have gotten more information for. Supposedly, Fable 4 is a thing, and it is happening.
Yeah.
And again, this was the leak, but they actually came out and said they are working on it. So we are getting a new Fable game, which is awesome. I didn't actually touch Fable 3, but I did 100% Fable 2. So, supposedly, the Coalition may be helping out with a... Again, these are all leaked information, so take it with a grain of salt, but maybe working on a new Perfect Dark game. They may be rebooting the Perfect Dark series, and the Coalition might be helping out with it. Which I also have some news that the Coalition is working on a new IP. So if you don't know, the Coalition, they're the people who are making Gears right now. They're not Epic, but they're made Gears 4 and things like that. So they're now working on that, and apparently they're also working on an entirely new IP that no one's heard of for Microsoft as well. And Coalition it's like 343. It's a Microsoft entity. So there's talks about Crackdown 3 having 4-player co-op. There's a new Forza Horizon game. No real surprise there. Forza, a lot of people.
Yeah, they're talking about it being in Taiwan, or not Taiwan, Japan.
Yep. Yeah, it was gonna be non-US or something. So.
Well, yeah, there was a picture of it, posted somewhere, or it was like some screenshot or something like that, and you could see Mount Fuji in the background.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm not a big racing game fan, but I know a lot of people who are. So.
Yeah, I play a lot of racing games, so that's something that's really exciting for me, because that means they're gonna bring back, the good drifting instead of this, crap that they had in there before.
Sure.
And hopefully a little bit more road based instead of this off road stuff that
exactly.
pretty much Horizon's been all about.
Yeah, I'm with you there. So I know a guy who he used to. That's how he warmed up for playing Halo. Actually, is he would play driving games. He would play Forza. So.
Really?
Yeah, because it helps with his dexterity, I guess. So.
Nice.
We got Age of Empires 4 that might be announced, but he's saying that it's probably super early, so we're not seeing it for a very long time.
Yeah, it's been a while since Age of Empires.
Yeah, exactly. And Phil Spencer apparently also likes mechs, so there might be a new mech game. I was really hoping for Mech Assault, but he kind of
I talked about that already. There's two games coming out. There's Battletech,
exactly.
and then there's MechWarrior 5.
And MechWarrior 5, yeah, exactly. And so that's one of those. This one, a lot of people, I was just mentioning because a lot of people thought it was going to be Mech Assault, but I was also going to say it was probably the one of those mech games is really what it ended up being. So
it's supposed to be MechWarrior 5 or MechWarrior Mercenaries 5 or something like that.
are either of those Xbox exclusives?
I don't. Well, I mean, what is Xbox exclusive these
Meaning
days?
it's only Xbox and Windows 10, I guess.
um, let me see. It was
Pretty much not on Switch or PlayStation.
um, there it is. Okay, so BattleTech is PC exclusive,
Okay.
and then the MechWarrior game, is PC.
Okay. So maybe it's something else.
Yeah.
And then the one thing that is supposedly Halo related, they're saying that they might be. There's some talk about having a really high player count for the biggest Xbox's biggest franchise. So supposedly Halo, and there might be coming out with a new game mode that. I mean, already I think it's the biggest is the Warzone, which is 16 versus 16. So they might be coming out with an even bigger game mode for Halo. Halo Battle Royale, anyone? Yeah? I really hope they don't. But so that's some Halo related news for you. Also talking about on the Halo topic, we got they have mentioned that we're definitely not getting Halo 6 this year. But there's also talk that we might not even see anything of Halo 6 this year. They're saying that they have some surprises for us and some that actually might surprise us. So, but there's also talk with EA and everything having the whole microtransactions. They were like, "Oh, what about Halo?" I guess, and Halo's like, it doesn't affect us. Like, there's a lot of talks that apparently they were reworking their system for Halo 6 or something, and they're like, we haven't released any details on Halo 6, so stop trying to act like you know details.
Right.
So, but apparently they're saying that they like the rec system. The rec system is working. It's not very intrusive, so they're gonna keep it. So apparently confirmed Rex in Halo 6 maybe. So we might be seeing some stuff for that, and that's kind of the Halo. There's not a lot of Halo news right now. So, but on the Microsoft front, the boss of the guy who was head of Minecraft actually is now head of Microsoft. Phil Spencer actually got a promotion. He now reports to he now has to do with the entire Microsoft gaming division. Anything to do with gaming that Microsoft does. Phil Spencer is now in that. This other guy who was the Minecraft boss is now promoted to he now runs all the companies, subsidiaries that Microsoft has, so 343 Coalition, things like that. And so he reports to Phil Spencer, and Phil Spencer only reports to the CEO. So there's a new boss in town from Microsoft, pretty much, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Oh, and there's also a new. Speaking of Xbox, they got a potentially new update coming out called a career thing. They're turning achievements and stuff like that into an entire RPG leveling system, where by getting achievements and stuff, you actually level your character up and you get avatar items and things like that, and it's called your Xbox career. So sounds kind of cool, but also more than I want. I like the achievements and how they are. So.
Why do I feel like I heard something about Xbox doing something with like a loot box system for items for your avatar?
Yeah, there is talk about stuff like that. So.
Oh god. Why is everybody doing loot boxes? So
well,
wait,
the fact is that it's not intrusive and it's not a bad way to go. It does make money, and actually, I was gonna come up to that a little bit later about game budgets and things like that, and again, why microtransactions exist and why they should exist and why they work. So
I mean, the thing that I'm like just worried or wondering about is if there's all this talk about how states and countries are trying to classify loot boxes as gambling, and you have to be 21 or older to purchase those things, or at least 18 and older, depending on what country or whatever. But if they put loot boxes in the Microsoft store to purchase or to get clothing items or whatever, would that mean that in order to play on Xbox Live that you would have to be 21?
yeah, yeah. I mean, a lot of companies a lot of places haven't made the whole loot boxes gambling yet. Like that's not a thing.
Yeah, I
So,
know
but
it's in a lot of talk, so.
yeah,
And I would say sometime, at least in the next year, we'll get some sort of legislation on it.
exactly. So, and I would not be surprised by that at all. That they just have to be more careful at how they do it, I guess. So,
Yeah.
um, oh, really quick. Actually, I should go back. I'm gonna go back just a second. Um, the we're I'm gonna look at so this is Steam's top games, by the way. So they have a bunch of categories for Steam's top games of 2017. The people who made Platinum, which is the top 12, is The Witcher, Ark, Counter Strike, Divinity 2, Warframe, Ghost Recon Wildlands, H1Z1, Grand Theft Auto, Rainbow Six Siege, Rocket League, Dota 2, and PUBG. And that's the top 12 selling on Steam. So just digital sales on Steam, not including all the other stuff, right? Next up, after that, you got Elder Scrolls Online, Arma 3, Stellaris, Dark Souls 3, Nier Automata, Assassin's Creed Origins, Shadow of War, Call of Duty World War II, For Honor, Fallout 4, Civ 6, and Warhammer. And then beyond that, they got, a bunch of other ones like Rust and Dead by Daylight, Euro Truck, Cuphead. And Cuphead still somehow made it on there, which is crazy because it's also a Play Anywhere title, so people who bought an Xbox didn't need to buy it on Steam. So, yeah, so that did good. So, a lot of those. But again, still, we're gonna go back 2017 one more time. They came out. I can't remember what company this is, but they came out with they come out with their rewards. It's a rewards where they reward the top games, and they have a bunch of dumb rewards or Steam award winners. That's what it is. For just people what they chose, and they got Choices Matter, Witcher 3 won, Mom's Spaghetti, which is I guess the idea that you never can stop thinking about it, is PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. Labor of Love, which shows how much the devs truly cared, kind of thing, is Warframe. Suspension of Disbelief was Rocket League, which was that whole ban thing. The world is grim enough. Let's just all get along. Is Stardew Valley. No Apologies is The Witcher. Defies Description is Gary's mod. Somehow that still got in there. Cry Havoc and Let Slip the Dogs of War, which is just mayhem upon mayhem. Just Cause 3. Haunts My Dreams, Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Soul of Vitruvius is Rise of the Tomb Raider. Whoa, Dude 2.0 is Evil Within 2. Best soundtrack is Cuphead, and then even better than expected is also Cuphead. So that's the Steam rewards, or Steam Awards is what they did there.
Speaking of ban things, though, did you hear about the ban that happened on Twitch for what was it, Dota 2?
No.
Somebody was Facebook got the exclusive rights for the ESL Dota 2 tournament,
Oh, got it.
and somebody was restreaming it on Twitch, and it was funny because the Facebook live feed had like 2,000 viewers, whereas some random guy streaming it on Twitch had over like 12 to 15,000 viewers, and his channel got banned.
No, no surprise there. Hey, world, how you doing? No
But
surprise there. That was the whole.
It was banned for NDA.
Yeah, because you can't. It's going against
Or not NDA, DMCA. That's right.
DMCA. Yeah, it was a DMCA takedown because it's copyright breaking copyright.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with that guy who restreamed a pay fight.
Oh god,
whatever.
the UFC
The
thing.
UFC fight.
Oh, that was so smart.
And acted like he
though.
played it.
Oh, that was so smart though. The way he did that was amazing.
So funny. So
But they didn't even catch him till like after the thing.
no, exactly.
Oh, that was so smart though.
So, and this is 2017. It's the traffic, I guess, of what. So, this is a funny one. So now that we've kind of talked, or here, let me actually do this in a second because that's a funny one that we'll end 2017 on. So we got the best-selling games of just they finally came out. I think it was Metacritic or one of those came out with just all the best-selling stuff and after all the stats have kind of come in. So best-selling games of December on all platforms was World War II and Star Wars Battlefront 2. Super Mario Odyssey, NBA 2K18, Mario Kart 8, Madden NFL, and PUBG, but that doesn't include I can't remember what kind of sales. There's a certain amount that PUBG hasn't released, so from a certain place, I can't remember where, but Assassin's Creed Origins and Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild doesn't track digital sales. That's what it is. So, and then GTA 5 were December. The top selling Xbox games of December was World of War II, PUBG, Battlefront 2, NBA 2K, Madden NFL, Origins. GTA 5 is still selling. Man, GTA 5 has made a crazy comeback, although it was never really gone apparently either. FIFA 18, Destiny 2, and Forza Motorsport 2. 7, not 2.
Yep.
The PS4's
Forza 7's awesome.
Again, the PS4 is literally the exact same, but exchanged some with Need for Speed Payback and Horizon Zero Dawn. The best-selling Switch games was Odyssey, Mario Kart 8, Breath of the Wild, Splatoon 2, Xenoblade 2, Mario and Rabbids, Pokken Tournament, Elder Scrolls Skyrim, ARMS, and Just Dance 2018. And then the best-selling games of 2017, all platforms, is World War II, NBA 2K, Destiny 2, NFL 18, Breath of the Wild, Grand Theft Auto, Ghost Recon Wildlands. Again, one of those silent killers that no one talks about, but apparently is doing incredibly well.
Yeah, but the thing is like so many people bought that game and then abandoned it because it just
exactly.
had no replayability.
Yeah. Star Wars Battlefront 2, Super Mario Odyssey, and Mario Kart 8. So.
Yeah.
Let's see. And do I have anything else? No. So, let's end. As I said, that's 2017 in review. But we have one more thing to review. Porn.
One more thing.
Porn.
Juan more.
So, Pornhub and YouPorn released some funny stats.
Oh yeah.
About porn that apparently they mentioned that they came out, and I have a list. So the most amount of people who watched YouPorn by console, PlayStation is 56% of the people who the devices that were on it was 56% PlayStation, 32% was Xbox, 5% was the Wii U, And then the 3DS and stuff made up 1%. So, yay porn.
Yay.
But not only that, Pornhub also released. By the way, I love the community managers for both those. If you don't follow them on Twitter, you should. Like, yes, it's porn, but they're so funny and they're so. I think I love them because they look at their job as just any other job. They don't like. They're like, oh yeah, it's the porn industry, but they don't care. Like, they're like, it's a job, and they have fun with it, and it's hilarious, and they. Pornhub, as I said, is just this really funny site because they track all these crazy metrics. For instance, they mentioned that with the Overwatch League, which did phenomenal, it got like 10 million viewers in the first, or 10 million views in the first weekend of it being live. Apparently, porn, the amount of porn that was watched during that time went down 10% for the weekend. And they were like, it was fine. They're like, we don't really care. That's great. I mean, we're watching Overwatch as well, so.
Yeah.
But then they also came out that apparently the most viewed video game character, most searched video game stuff for porn was Overwatch, was the game. But characters was, character-wise, it was, for Overwatch was Tracer, Mercy, and Diva, and then Misty from Pokemon, Lara Croft, and then Zelda after. So those were the most searched things on Pornhub. So porn sells.
Yeah, right.
Because
we didn't know that.
Exactly. Well, and then still talking about sales and stuff. Nintendo Switches have sold a shit ton, a ridiculous shit ton, and that by April 2018 they're looking to about sell 37 million Switches, which is just faster than any console ever. So, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Let's see. What do we? Video game. There's a whole thing. I don't know if you heard about this, but it was a whole thing that video games are now. Video game addiction is actually considered a disorder now, which there's a lot of controversy. But the World Health Organization has classified it as a disorder, and a lot of people are kind of giving it knockback for it. Yeah, and they categorize it in two sections, and I wrote these down so that I got them.
I mean, if obesity can be considered a disorder.
Yeah, but so it's disorder. It's gaming disorder, which is disorders due to addictive behaviors. Which is gaming disorder is characterized by a pattern of persistent or recurrent gaming behavior, which may be online or offline, manifested by impaired control over gaming, frequency, intensity, the duration, being able to stop, things like that. Increasing priority given to gaming to the extent that gaming takes precedence over life interests and daily activities. Continuation or escalation of gaming despite the occurrence of negative consequences. The behavior pattern is of significant severity and result in significant impairment in personal, family, social, educational, occupational, and or other important areas of functioning. It may be continuous or episodic, and the gaming behavior and other features are normally evident over a period of at least 12 months in order for a diagnosis to be assigned, although the required duration may be shortened if all diagnostic requirements are met. So, and it's... That's gaming. That's just one. The second one is that. So that one is gaming disorder. The second one is hazardous gaming, which is problems associated with health behaviors. So hazardous gaming refers to a pattern of gaming, either online or offline, that increases the risk of harmful physical or mental consequences to the individual or the others around an individual. The increased risk may be from the frequency of gaming, from the amount of time spent on these activities, from neglect of other activities and priorities, and from risky behavior associated with gaming or its context.
Right.
Yeah. So, and the pattern of gaming is often persists in spite of awareness of increased risk of harm to individuals or others. Um, and a lot of people are giving it kind of trying to knock it down, saying that it makes other disorders look bad, but I don't know. Like, a lot of people are like, yeah, well, there's a difference between just being addicted to gaming and one, they're like, there's a difference between addictive disorders like a gambling problem and someone who just plays a little too much video games. I
Yeah.
personally think that's wrong. I I won't lie. I can see myself having a gaming disorder. I'm not in some cases I'll be hazardous, like doing a 24-hour stream that can be considered hazardous. I don't really consider that a medical problem, but honestly, gaming is something that is just as if, like, again, if you can be addicted to alcohol and you can be addicted to gambling, why can't you be addicted to video games, right? Like, and
Yeah,
people
but
are
at what
trying, it's
point
like,
do
well,
you
you
say
can't
somebody's
be,
addicted to it?
yeah, and well, it's like, again, it's when you're harmful to others. I won't lie, I gaming for me for a long time there caused my grades to drop. I started failing school. I started not having as many friends, not going out. I stopped doing a lot of those things. And it's
Yeah.
because I have a video game addiction. And I think I still do in some regards. I'm now better at it, but I think I still do cause I do prioritize gaming sometimes over real life things, and it definitely can be bad. I mean, it's never as bad as some people, but there is, I think it would be wrong for people not to call it a disorder, because there's a lot of instances of the hazardous idea where people are literally just drop dead in internet cafes from gaming binges, or there's a whole thing about these parents who their kid died in the crib because they were gaming too much. They didn't pay
Yeah,
attention to
but
the kid.
you got to
And
figure that there's people who just simply have an addictive personality. There's
yeah,
people
and
that
that's
just
true.
get addicted to things, and whether it's video games or something else, it's just the fact that they have that certain personality quirk that makes them have an addiction.
Yeah, and
I mean, like,
that is a very medical thing. Like, they can show that, certain things push against your brain, whatever, your frontal lobes and things like that, a certain way that actually triggers that addictive trait kind of thing. So,
yeah. I mean,
um,
it's kind of like, like with alcohol, video games, just anything like that. There's no real, I mean, there's no real physical addiction. It's a mental addiction,
yeah,
which is a
exactly.
lot different. The physical addiction is very minimal in most cases, but the mental addiction is where you get caught up, and you just sort of ignore your daily life activities. But somebody who plays a lot of games like me, I'll game for shit. I've got VOD from Friday night where I gamed for 20 hours straight.
Mm-hmm.
What did I do after that? I did nothing. Like I didn't play any video games because I had other shit that was, that I was dealing with at the time, and I literally haven't picked up a game since Friday night, Saturday morning.
Yeah, and
So
see,
it's
that's why
like,
I would classify you someone who just on the occasion plays a little too much games, and that's not a bad thing. Like, it's just,
yeah.
but see that,
But I
and
wouldn't
that's where,
classify that as an addiction.
no, but again, see, for
Yeah.
me, that's different. Like, for me, I play games all the time, and it, again, to
Yeah.
the point where it is affecting, and I'm not trying to like trying to diagnose myself here, but I'll be honest,
Yeah.
I've had a while back when I was younger, my parents actually talked about sending me to rehab for video gaming addiction. Like,
Hmm.
the fact is that I stream and I play video games, and when I stop streaming, I continue to play video games.
Yeah.
And a lot of times like, if I had schoolwork and stuff, there was a while, again, when I was in college, I stopped going to class and stuff to play video games. Destiny came out and I skipped class to play it, or I
Yeah.
stayed up so late that I didn't wake up for class the next day.
Yeah.
And then so I was being harmful to myself and to just all my other parts of my life because I was playing too much video games. And I don't know, like, I think there's a lot of talk where it's like someone for like you, as you said, like you play a bunch of video games, but you take breaks and stuff, and you stop yourself. I almost don't have that control, and that's why. I'm using myself as an example of like I think video game addiction is a real thing, and it seems weird that they're not. People are fighting to say that it's not a real health problem when I think there are plenty of cases and incidences, and a lot of it is the fact there's not a lot of research into it yet, sure, but I think there's a lot of I think there's enough and a lot of things to show it because as I said, I think I look at myself and I actually wonder like am I actually addicted to video games to the point where it's hurting all the other parts of my life, right? Like
Yeah.
As I said, I do. It's whenever I'm bored, I play video games. Whenever I don't know what to do, I play video games. Whenever I stream, I game. Once I stop streaming, I continue to game. Whenever I have a bad day, and that's part of it, is they also say, like, part of it is, you know, you use video gaming as an escape. Whenever I have a bad day, I play video games. When I have a really shitty day, like a super shitty day, I go watch a movie in the theater. But, I don't know, like, as I said, I got to the point where even now, I sometimes wait to the last minute to do things. Like, alright, this is probably a bad thing, because this is happening right now, is that I'm streaming right now, and yes, I'm not playing a game, but I'm streaming and doing things like that or yesterday was a better example, is I got word about, I might be going back to school here, and I'm supposed to be giving them my transcripts, my unofficial transcripts and stuff, and I didn't do that yesterday because I was busy gaming. So, and again, it's a lack of self-control that I think I have, and that's why, as I said, I'm not trying to self-diagnose myself here, but I kind of wonder if I do have a video game addiction, right? So,
Well, I mean, you could always just try and think of something else to do that's more constructive and but still like feeds that addiction for you. Like some people it's, working on a car, some people it's
and see, but
model building.
And I've tried, and that's what I think is I've always tried to find different things because I was like, all right, maybe I game too much, maybe I should try and find a different hobby to try and distract myself.
Yeah.
That hobby was streaming, which was playing video games. So, but that's what I mean is I think, as I said, I think I might have a bit of an issue because all I can think about is gaming, and that's my entire life. Everything I do revolves around it. And I think that's the difference is I think, people can sometimes turn bad habits into good things, right? And I think that's what it is I have spent so much of my life gaming. I have wasted, quote unquote, so much of my life. I don't feel like I wasted because I enjoyed it, but I feel like I've wasted a lot of my life playing video games. But now that I'm trying to turn it into a full-time job and things like that, I'm at least trying to be constructive with it, right? So that's at least a step in the right direction. But yeah, Gabby, I'm with you. It's like video games are a form of escapism. But as I said, I think I have a lot of trouble putting it down sometimes. But as I'm not, I have no idea. But I don't know. I think it's just interesting that people don't think of it as much as an addiction, and they're just like, oh, he just likes to play games a little too much sometimes. But for me, it's not a sometimes; it's an all the time kind of thing,
Yeah.
So, but anyways, so there's that. That might be taken back sometime soon. I don't work right now, although I might have a job prospect here soon. I am looking for work, yes, but I don't work right now, and that's why I might be going back to school because I've been trying to get a full-time job in the game industry. But I don't have a degree, and apparently as much experience and stuff as I have being a tester and a producer on other stuff like that, apparently it's still not enough. So I might actually be going back to school in March here to do an 18-month bachelor program to get me a degree just to freaking get me in a damn door. I hate the fact that I have to do it, but I might have to. So
yeah.
But as I said, that's again, there's a good discussion on just. As I said, I actually worry that I'm almost considering stopping streaming while I'm going to school, just because of the fact that I'm worried that it'll take too much of my time. And
Yeah.
not, yeah, just because I don't have the self control to stop myself. So,
Well, yeah, you
um,
wouldn't be the first person to do that. I mean, I know a lot of people that stop streaming in order to go back to school, and then just like stream during the breaks or whatever when there's, you
yeah,
know.
and I might do something like that. I don't want to so badly. I especially since I'm taking this course, this jump cut course thing, which is interesting. But that's a whole thing that I can tell you about another time. So. But no, as Gabby, I'm with you. Is like at night, all I can think about is like new ways to like Fortnite or something. Is better ways to build a base or some shit, right? Like it is pretty
Yeah.
strongly what I think about. Like if I won the lottery, what would I want to do? I would want to play video games for the rest of my life. Stream video games specifically. I would definitely get bored if only I did video games. But as I said, that's the problem I have is a lot of times I'm bored with video games, yet I still play video games. Like I literally throw on a game and I just diddle about, and I'm like, I'm not even doing anything. Hell,
Is
I'm
that
just
how you got
flipping
into
through the menu.
speedrunning?
Yeah, pretty much. I was bored with all my games. It was literally because I was like, I don't know what to do in my games anymore. I have beaten all my games. I've 100% a lot of them. I could 100% Gears of War, but fuck that. That's a lot. That's just annoying as hell to get the seriously achievements. And
Right.
I was bored as hell, yet I was still playing. Like I wasn't enjoying. I think at the time I was playing Modern Warfare 2, or one of the. I can't remember. I think I was playing one of the Battlefield multiplayers or Call of Duty multiplayer, things like that, and I wasn't enjoying it. I was just playing it because I had nothing else to do. I was like, I'm bored as hell with this game, and I'm not enjoying this, but I'm still playing it. So
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I feel you. I mean, there have been times where I've done that where I'm like just bored and I'm just playing a game just to play a game, but um no, I try to change it up here and there, and I mean that's why pretty much I only game when I stream for the most part. I mean, there's been a few times where I've gamed off stream, but then I also only stream 3 days a week. So it's like,
okay,
I've got those 3 days to, enjoy the games, and then the rest of the time it's, spending time with the family,
yeah,
watching
exactly.
TV, taking care of business.
And that I gotta learn how to do that, and I'm
Yeah.
having trouble with it. And that's the problem. Is I'm hopefully I'll figure it out before I ruin my life. So.
Yeah, maybe one day.
Anyways, enough about just talking about me and energy, and well, actually that's exactly what this is all about. So let's go on to some other juicy, bad, sucky news that has kind of happened. Um we'll get to the Logan Paul thing in a little bit. But um just PSA, don't fucking eat Tide Pods, okay? Fucking stop. What the hell is wrong with you people? I was just watching something about the fact that apparently Tide Pods have killed 39 teenagers
Yep.
in the last half of
Wait,
2017 or
killed
something.
or hospitalized?
Oh no, it was like killed 11 and hospitalized like 39. So it's fucking stupid. Don't do a Tide Pod challenge. What the shit is wrong with you? It's poison. It is literally like, what the hell?
Yeah, no,
So
it's and it just sucks how it like became a meme, and then it's like it fucking blew up as a meme, and it was and the funny thing is that my friends and I, we were talking about that like 2-3 years ago. We were like, God, we know that they're for like, doing laundry and stuff, but they look so delicious like when they first came out.
yeah.
And then it's like 3 years later, all of a sudden everybody else is like, yeah, they look delicious. It's like, where the fuck were you? And now it's like, so I saw like these reports on, kids like eating Tide Pods and stuff. I'm like, there's
Yeah.
no fucking way people are actually that dumb to eat Tide Pods. And then I'm actually like watching videos that are on YouTube of kids
Thanks,
literally
Gabby. I
eating Tide
appreciate
Pods,
it.
and I'm
Yeah.
like,
I mean, I'm still
oh
talking
my
about gaming
god,
is
it
the
got
thing,
too
but yeah,
far.
I am stopping games for a little while. I've
No.
been good about stopping games,
So
but again, I think the
yeah.
problem is it invades
And it
every other
turned to
part of
be
my
a
life as
whole
well.
Tide Pod challenge, and then YouTube blocked it. Well, they
Yeah, they shut down that
delete any
with
videos.
RNG or RNB. Who's the company that owns Tide? It's RNG, right? I think.
I have no idea.
But yeah, they came out with a video that just says, "Don't eat it."
Yeah. There's some football player that was a spokesperson for that shit too.
Yeah, it's funny. Let's see. Other sucky news of people dying because they're idiots in this world. I'm not sure if you heard about Andrew Finch. He was a guy who was killed in a swatting. So swatting is still a thing. Apparently, it's said that there are 400 false calls for swatting a year. And a guy, Tyler Barris, he got in a shouting match over a like $2 wager match on UGC with another guy, and he made a joke about how he was gonna swat him. What's his address or something like that? The guy gave him some random address, and then the guy actually swatted him. And the guy went to the door. The cops said, "Put up your hands." He went for like something on his belt or he just moved his hands towards his belt, and so the cops shot him, and killed him. And the kid name was Andrew Finch, and yeah. So don't fucking swat people. Like, what the hell? Again, another one of those things. What the hell is wrong with you? Like, why do you think that's in any way okay? Like, you were literally holding trained guns on people. I mean, I don't know about this guy, but this guy now has to live with the fact that he just caused some random dude that he doesn't even know to die. Like,
here's the thing, though.
And
did you actually
Andrew
hear
Finch
the interview
is
with
not
the kid?
actually a gamer either, so
Yeah,
had
no,
nothing
but
to
did
do
you
with the
hear?
scenario. But
Did you hear the interview with the guy who did the swatting though?
no,
Okay, so the swatting incident, first of all, it was guys on the same team arguing after a match that had
got it.
happened. And so they were friends, but then it got into a really big shouting match. And yeah, as you said, oh, go ahead and swat me and I'll see you in jail, blah, blah, blah. Gave him a fake address, and the guy got killed. And essentially what happened was that the guy who said that he was going to do the swatting, he went to this guy on Twitter named Swatistic, and who is a pro swatter, quote unquote. Like, he's
Okay.
sort of a hitman for swatting. So I went to that guy and got that guy to do the swatting. Now, the guy that did the swatting, he's like completely remorseless about the whole thing. Like, he got interviewed and he's like, well, if I get in trouble for this, then everybody else should get in trouble too. It wasn't like, it sucks that this guy died. It wasn't, I'm really sorry for this. It was, oh, well, if I'm getting in trouble, then everybody else should get in trouble too.
Sure.
Like, what
It's
the
fucking
fuck, dude?
ridiculous,
Like,
man.
you got somebody killed, and your rebuttal to that is other people should get in trouble besides me as well.
Exactly. Dude,
Like,
there's some messed up people in this world is all I can say.
and yeah, he got caught and arrested, and I don't know what the if he's been sentenced or anything yet.
He's getting charged with involuntary manslaughter, which is only like, what is it? I can't even remember, but it's not that long in jail. And it's great because I was moving on to partly just partly connected here. There's a 20-year-old who's a Canadian 20-year-old who's getting charged by Twitch for potentially like 20 years in jail. So, just because he spammed a bunch of like racist and disruptive stuff in like over 100 streams.
Yeah.
So, and he's getting more time for that than the guy who killed a guy, like, it's fucking ridiculous. It's crazy. Um, God, our system, our judicial system is a little whack. So, same
Yep.
thing. There was another one of that. It was a 28-year-old. Where'd I write that one? 28-year-old shot his mom over a headset. I think was that he lost in a game or something like that, and his mom came up to check on him, and he got angry at her. He threw his headset and it broke. He blamed her for it and then shot her. So, and he's getting charged for just murder on like a bunch of accounts and or on that account, and yeah, he's going to jail for a while as well. So, good year for people being assholes, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
Then the final, I think the tipper that is most recent was the whole Logan Paul one, which was, again, Logan Paul. I hate the dude so much. I don't know why he's so popular. Which, by the way, he's actually gotten more followers because of this damn thing. We live in a messed up world, but if you don't know, he posted a video. He was in Japan.
Like 68,000 subscribers in a day.
Yeah, he was in Japan. He was in the suicide forest, and he saw a dead body, and he decided to actually film it. And then proceeded to, like, and he was like, oh, it's supposed to build awareness for suicide. But, you know, he also kept the rest of the video where he's back at the car doing shots with his friends, and he, in general, that entire Japan trip, he was just being incredibly disrespectful to Japanese culture and stuff. So,
yep.
And YouTube has finally cracked down on it, and that started a whole thing where people are like, a bunch of people are signing this petition. It's already up to like 1 million people or something, trying to get his channel shut down because they're like, this is unacceptable, and you're demonetizing and taking down videos of gamers and other things like that. But because Logan Paul is one of your biggest grossing, you haven't done shit to him. They took the video down, and the other consequences they had is they've taken him off a lot of YouTube projects and pretty much taken him off preferred status. So he's become the next PewDiePie, pretty much. So that's what's happened there. Oh yeah, and the YouTube decided to promote that video in trending. Yeah.
Yeah. That was fucked up. I think that was probably the most fucked up thing about the whole thing.
Yeah.
The video made it on trending.
Yeah, exactly.
And the thing is like, I could understand if trending was something that was like an algorithm and, you know, something that stirs up controversy gets placed up there. But that's not even it. Like, have you seen the trending tab? Like, at least 50% of the things in there are like bullshit videos that have like maybe a couple thousand views.
Yeah, it's because it calculates by, one, there's a whole paying to promote thing. Two is also amount of views in a certain amount of time. So if you get a bunch of people to click on your video at once, you can automatically get your video to trending with like 1,000 views. So
yeah, but it was also flagged numerous times.
Oh yeah,
and it was
reviewed, took them a long time,
and it was approved. No, it got reviewed and approved that same day that it was flagged.
Yep. And apparently Google has finally come down. They've left YouTube alone, and they're like, we're done. Like, mommy and daddy are here to stop this. Like. So, YouTube's fucked up royally. It brought down Google. So Google's finally like, this is ridiculous, and we're done. We're done hearing all this bullshit because YouTube is handling all this shit like shit. So, here comes Google. We're gonna fix everything. Yep. So, good for them to do that finally. Anyways, stepping a little bit away, some more kind of fun things that are going on, or not necessarily fun things, more sad things. Oh yeah, there's the Dr. Disrespect thing.
He's coming back on the 5th.
Is he? Wow, didn't take him long.
Did you not hear about that?
No, I know the Dr. Disrespect thing. I didn't know.
No, but I'm saying like him coming back.
No, I don't watch Doctor Disrespect. I don't really.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm not exactly
he
a
released
big supporter of him. So.
he released a video, pretty much saying that like he's coming back and that his wife's an assassin and it's Doctor Disrespect 2.0 and blah blah blah. But yeah, but he was gone off of all social media, during that entire fiasco, and like until recently he didn't return. But yeah, he's supposed to come back. I think it's the 5th.
Okay.
So it'll be interesting to see it, and like there's a there's a lot of people who are essentially taking bets to see how many viewers he gets on his stream when he comes back.
Probably a shit ton.
Because I mean, if you think about it, like there was a whole thing with Tyler One, where Tyler One finally got allowed back.
I was gonna mention him, Tyler. Yeah.
He
He's back on
on
League of
his
Legends
stream,
finally. So.
yeah, on his initial stream when he came back to League of Legends, he got it was 385,000 viewers at peak,
Yeah.
I think it was.
God,
And so
don't you wish you could get that many viewers?
shit. So for him to get 385,000 viewers on his initial stream back, just because he was banned from League of Legends, like he was streaming, but then he got back on League of Legends and he got 385,000. I'm wondering how many, like, it's got to be at least 300 and something thousand the Doctor Disrespect's going to get, because it's not only hitting the Twitch community as, like, you know, he's coming back, you know, woohoo. It's also hitting those people that maybe that don't watch him but want to see that stream that he comes back and see if he talks about what happened and how he actually
just
like
all that stuff. So
got out of the situation and got you know back into it. But the thing is that, and the reason why I'm not like I don't have really high hopes for that stream is the fact that he's a persona. He's always been a persona.
Doctor Disrespect is a personality. So
he's not going to talk about personal issues on stream when he's in his Doctor Disrespect outfit.
Yep, exactly.
I mean, if anything, he'll like start off the stream and be like, okay, this is what I'm saying in the beginning, and that is it. And then it'll get clipped, and that'll be the end of it.
Yep. And that's how I assume it's going to go as well. So, as I said, I have respect for that guy in the sense that he has put in so much work with that personality, and he does an amazing job. But I don't really like his content, so I don't really watch him.
I was actually I did like him as a streamer, like or as a person. I was kind of alright with, you know, his content, but I mean, until that whole thing came out, like I actually had a lot of respect for him because he had helped out a lot of smaller streamers that I knew about.
Yeah.
And he was actually a really good part of the community.
Yeah, he's a nice guy and stuff, so I know that. So everyone always praises that he's a nice guy. So
yeah.
Well, as I said, it's just not the kind of content I enjoy, so I never really watched him. But with everything that happened, I don't know. I don't even consider it that big of a deal. Like, it's a big deal for him, but for everyone else, like, I'm sorry, the whole unfaithfulness happens every single day to so many people. It's not like a crazy thing. Out of all the people that stream on Twitch, I believe there's
for a long time.
There's probably quite a few people who are in something like that and just haven't been caught yet. You know, like,
yeah.
It's whatever. I mean, to me, those things are fairly common, so I'm not all that surprised when I hear about things like that happening. So, but Gabby, I was gonna mention, I didn't see the PewDiePie video, but I know he twisted it for himself pretty much, where he was saying that with his thing with the Wall Street Journal, he got his Disney contract revoked, and he got the Scare PewDiePie thing was taken away from him and things like that. And for what Logan Paul did compared to what PewDiePie did, because, again, he was just getting blamed for something that wasn't really happening, where Logan Paul actually did something wrong. Right. Yeah, he hasn't been punished all that much, because, again, he's their biggest moneymaker, so YouTube ain't gonna say no. But PewDiePie also twisted it for himself, where he's like, if they If they hadn't, if they're to bring Logan Paul back onto their YouTube Red originals and stuff like that, they should release the second season of Scare PewDiePie because of that. And I was like, yeah, man, wait to twist that in your favor.
Actually, I mean, they really should though, because
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
it's already filmed and everything, and it's like,
Just sitting
why
there.
are you going to deny fans? I mean, I don't know, like. It's already filmed. It's already there. Release it somehow. You know, people want to see it, obviously. I mean, even if you don't release it on YouTube Red, just release it as like a free thing or whatever. But, um, like, I don't know. I also agree that, you know, Scare PewDiePie and Logan Paul's thing should not have been taken down because it's the fans are gonna watch it.
Yeah.
And they're gonna want to watch it.
And again,
It's
he was
just
being blamed for something that really wasn't true. It was just things being taken out of context, and he handled things poorly. And yeah, so but
yeah, but I mean, like with Logan Paul is just being a douchewaffle. But that should just speak to him and speak to who he is.
exactly.
But you know, whatever. I mean, I think that the shit that's happened to Logan Paul is enough-ish, you know, to kind of, you know,
It's
mitigate.
something.
Yeah, it's something, but I don't think that there's really much else that should be done to his channel personally. I mean, maybe, you know, have it on like the lowest tier of monetization. But yeah, it's just they need to hurt him in his wallet. They don't need to hurt him like
Yeah,
being
but
a
hurting him in
content
his
creator.
wallet hurts their wallet, you know?
Well, I mean, but the thing is like they hurt him in his wallet by like maybe having a different cut of, you know, the ad revenue or whatever.
Sure.
You know, just find a way to, you know, punish him for doing wrong without, you know, actually eliminating him from the platform, because
Exactly.
you eliminate him from the platform, then all of a sudden you've got these issues with censorship.
Yep.
And censorship is something we definitely don't need on any of these platforms.
Oh god, I would hate that. Net neutrality, woo!
Oh my
I hear
God.
22 states are in that lawsuit now. So sweet.
Yeah, my state isn't,
Move.
which is fucked. No, my state is so fucked, dude. Like I looked up the laws. Like, so the net neutrality repeal, okay, yeah, that happened. But the fucked up thing about it is that there's a lot of states that actually have laws in place that prevent competition.
Yep.
Like, here in
Washington is
Vegas,
like that.
or yeah, well, in Nevada, it's you aren't allowed to have a what is it? It can't be a um a public option for internet uh in a municipality of 50,000 people or more. And the problem with that is that Google Fiber works with the uh, local municipalities in order to get their uh, infrastructure laid down.
Sure.
And so if Google works with these companies, then all of a sudden, or work with Google working with the municipality, Google cannot sell their service in those states.
Weird.
So it's like that's why I was wondering, like I was looking at where Google Fiber actually gets put down, like where they actually like implement it. And I was like, why aren't they bringing it to Vegas? Like, it's got a really big, you know,
And
area.
it's because of the legalities of it. All right.
Right. And yeah, that's what I found out. It's the fucking legalities of it. And like, I actually contacted my representative, fucking Dean Heller, who's a twat and a half. And I'm like, dude, you're saying you want a free and
Sorry
open
about
internet, or
ads.
you want to restore internet freedom. You're saying that you want to give back to innovation and all this other stuff, and that's why you voted to repeal net neutrality. Well, on the same token, why not repeal those laws that prevent, innovation?
Yeah, exactly. Because they can't use the whole innovation excuse when they're not repealing all the ones that are stopping innovation as well. So.
Yeah. Whatever.
Okay. Let's see. What else we got? Connect is dead for Xbox. It's dead. It's super dead. They're also Microsoft has said they're not even going to make the adapters because for the X1Xs you need a special adapter to use the Connect. They are sold out, and they're like, we're not making anymore. So it's super dead. Something about EA, or here's another thing about EA. They denied that whole X-Wing simulator. I don't know if you heard about that. They had a X-Wing simulator reboot, pretty much, that was proposed to them. They released the footage of the concept where it's the Millennium Falcon flying around in space, and you get to shoot down TIE fighters and stuff. They denied that. So, and then they decided to release the footage and be like, hey, you could have had this, but we're not giving it to you. So, woo!
Of course they would. Oh, God.
Alright, one sec. Gabby, it's because we are not live. I'm not watching him live, or I'm taking the video from his stream and just outputting it again. So yeah, the audio you're hearing is like 7 seconds behind him. I just really want you to put a face to the voice more than anything. But yeah, we're just talking. So
you're telling them.
Yeah,
typing it out.
Yeah, you good. Let's see what else. Oof, I still got quite a bit more. Platinum, the company Platinum, the guys who made Nier Automata as well as Bayonetta, they are looking into self-publishing. So they're looking to get out and actually do some self-publishing of their own. If they do that, they won't be AAA games because they don't have a big enough company. So that's an interesting thing. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. I never actually played Nier Automata or Bayonetta, so but I know that company is a pretty liked company. So, and I think a lot of people would be pretty okay with them self-publishing. So because they're getting tired of having to deal with other publishers and stuff like that. They want to make their own stuff and do their own things. So, Kickstarter news. I don't know if any of you guys are Kickstarters. I actually do Kickstarter quite often. That's how I have this great game. It's super hot. If you know the game Super Hot, they came out with a card game. It's super fun.
Card game?
Yeah, it's a card game. Super Hot. It's like and it can be played single player. So it's like a solitaire almost. It's interesting. It's really cool. And I'm enjoying it, and that leads into the Kickstarter. Video game sales are down. They're actually about average. Kickstarter made about as much on video games as it did in 2016. But the tabletop is super up. Apparently, tabletops are becoming super huge again. So, I'm happy with that, and I know you like that energy because tabletops are great. So. Yeah. Which, by the way, I watched all of Rick and Morty, so I meant to mention that when I mentioned the Rick and Morty season 4. But I watched it all now, so now I understand all the jokes of that Munchkins that we played. So I finally get them all.
Finally, Rick and Morty is such a good show.
I don't know, like for me, all right, a little off topic from news, but my thoughts on it was kind of like it's good. I wasn't like. I think what I love that show for is it is written well, it's solid, and it's the attention to detail that I like. But I don't know, like overall story and stuff like that was all right. I love the accuracy of it. I love that it really tries to hit on the fact that there's infinite universes and you're pretty much meaningless. It's no one wants to think like that, but in reality, that is the supposed reality. and I love it. I think the show itself is very scientifically accurate in a lot of ways. Again, in other ways it is not so scientifically accurate, but there's a lot of stuff that they do really well. But as I said, story and all stuff overall, meh, it's all right. But it's just the level of detail, all the tiny little Easter eggs that they hide in every episode, the continuous like personality things. Like I always reference the seatbelt scenario where Rick never wears a seatbelt, but Morty always wears a seatbelt. But there are a few times that Rick does, which is like when he takes out the toxic part of him, he all of a sudden wears a seatbelt. As well as after the family therapy, as Pickle Rick, he also wears a seatbelt. So and those are like the only 2 times you'll ever see him, and it's really, really good. Yeah. So, yeah, they do a good job.
Yeah, I like the whole Mr. Poopy Butthole thing, where like Mr. Poopy Butthole like wasn't in it at all, and then all of a sudden he shows up in one episode, and now he's like in the intro and everything. Now, I'm doing all right, War.
Yeah.
What's up, Game Over?
But yeah, I'm as I said, I love the show. I really can't wait for season 4 because I think they do a phenomenal job with it. I think it's one of the most best well written animated TV shows we have now. And again, the thing that I love is just the attention to detail. They don't miss a single thing almost, and it's so well done for that regard. And I have a lot of praise for it. But yeah, and as I said, I like the idea that it's a continuous universe, that even when we're not watching, they're still going on adventures and doing their own thing. So I kind of like that.
Right.
So.
Well, the thing that I'm like, so the thing that I like a lot about Rick and Morty is the fact that there's so many fan theories that you can build around the show, because you've got like, well, I mean, first of all, there's the Cthulhu in it that has never been seen in any of the episodes. So there's theories around that. Then there's also the theory that Rick is sort of self-aware, and that, he knows he's animated, he knows it's a TV show, and, that just would make him feel even more insignificant, even though there's like, everything else going on. And there's evil Morty being an actual, like, and Morty's actually grow up to be Rick's, and, there's all that going on. And the fact that, what was it? That Rick hadn't been around for, what was it, like 20 years or something like that, but then somehow Rick has memories of picking up Morty as a child.
So, yeah, the Morty is not the real Morty or whatever. Or, it's not his real Morty. So.
Yeah. Or that it's not the one that the universe that he actually started in. So there's just so many different theories behind that show.
Yeah.
And just keeping track, I think it's more fun to think about the theories than it is to watch the show a lot of times.
Yeah.
And it's just like you watch the show to kind of like try and answer your theories.
Exactly. And Gabby, I actually did like. I didn't know a lot of people didn't like season 3. I actually really liked season 3. I thought it added a lot to the characters, and they're really changing the characters in a way that I don't mind it. Like, I love the ending of the first episode with him just almost like telling Morty that he all of this was like a hostile takeover to the family. I was fucking laughing, and Morty's like, oh god, stop, and Rick's not stopping ever. So.
Yeah.
But I really like the 3rd season, and I'm excited for the 4th. So, got a long time till then.
Yeah.
So.
I'm really excited for the 4th season. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, they do a good job with that. Yeah. Let's see what else. So we mentioned a little bit the whole Intel. If you don't know, Intel had this whole thing where a hacker was like, "Hey, Intel chips have a problem in them, and that allows like crack." Or who was it then?
It was Google.
Google.
It was a Google. It was a Google developer.
Got it. Okay, well that's better.
Yeah.
But they were saying like pretty much there was
safer.
The way that the Intel chips back up and do a memory dump caused passwords and stuff to locale into one area, and that could be accessible. I'm not getting into the very fine details right now, but the gist of it is there was a problem that hackers could take advantage of. It's fixed now, but the problem is that it's actually caused a lot of PC slowdowns. Is one of the things. So pretty much
It's
if
only
you
in
had
file transfer.
exactly, yeah. So it doesn't really affect games and stuff like that as much. I've heard there's a mixed bag. The problem with it is that anything that runs off an Intel chip from the last 10 years is affected. And that's not just your PC at home. That's like a lot of servers that Microsoft owns and a lot of things like that. So like for instance, Fortnite actually was having a bunch of server issues. It was actually because of this Intel problem. Because they updated the Intel chips, which caused all of their servers and stuff to freak out. So Epic servers. So it's affected definitely a lot of things. So just know, I got AMD, so whatever.
Well, AMD was affected by like the bigger ones. It was a smaller one that Intel
Exactly.
was the only one affected. But no, the it was a pretty major security hole that thankfully it was found by Google developers.
And not someone else, yeah.
Yeah, and but yeah, no, it's kind of fine now. There's still like AMD hasn't responded to one of the vulnerabilities, and so we don't know for sure if AMDs are susceptible to one of the vulnerabilities. But to be fair, Intel didn't really respond, but it was found to be vulnerable. So
Sure.
But yeah, so we'll see what happens with that. But it's supposed to be an architecture issue in the processors themselves. So they're gonna have to fix that.
Yeah, exactly, and that's expensive to fix too if they had to do like a chip recall, which who knows what happens.
It wouldn't be a
with
recall. I don't think they'd do a recall,
No,
but I think
but
just in the future they're gonna like patch
you'd have to
that hole up.
redesign the chip in a way, so which can be costly at times. So
Yeah.
Anyways, again, there's a lot of bad news, but in some fun news, Sean, take it as you want, I guess. Sean Escagee, if you don't know, he's a writer who is responsible for a lot of the Nathan Drake stuff, the Uncharted stuff. He's leaving Naughty Dog, so he's no longer working with Naughty Dog, which again, Naughty Dog are the people who did Uncharted. Point is, he's left and he's joining Crystal Dynamics, who I can't remember. I looked up Crystal Dynamics, but now I'm blanking on Dynamics Games. What is it? Let me just name something like what?
Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. That's what it is. Yeah, Tomb Raider. Things like
Legacy
that.
of Kain, Blood Omen.
But supposedly he might be working on the new Avengers product. Apparently Crystal Dynamics is working with Marvel to make a Avengers game. So
I don't know.
We'll see how that goes. But anyways,
video games that start out as movies are hardly good.
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, it's not necessarily the movies, right? It's more just the comics. So
no. Crystal Dynamic has dabbled in this before. They did 102 Dalmatians, the video game.
Hey, there you go. They did great. That was a great game, right?
Yeah, totally.
So, a fun one for all you Switch users. Executor, who is a hacking group, who is notorious for allowing games to be pirated on Xbox, the original Xbox and Xbox 360. They came out with a hack a while back so you could pirate games. They are saying that they found something on the Switch that is like the golden god of hacks. It's like a unicorn hack because apparently it's a humongous thing that's even bigger than the Xbox thing, and also Nintendo can't fix it. So we don't know what it is yet. We just know that apparently there's a thing. So we'll see what happens and see what they come out with, and they say they're gonna release it soon. Other news of stealing stuff. Paladins, if you don't know, Paladins is that it's 2K? No, that's not 2K. Who made Paladins? It's a Microsoft studio, right? Paladins game is by
Hi-Res
Hi-Res.
Studio?
Oh, it's Hi-Res. That's right. Hi-Res Studio. It's built on the Unreal Engine. Yeah, Hi-Res is, and they do their own thing, but they do Smite and Tribes and things like that. Anyways, they apparently are coming out with or have already come out with a Paladins Battleground, is what it's called.
Oh, God.
It's the first character player or battleground last man standing thing, right? Like, so you actually choose a character, and again, the characters in the game have different health and different abilities and things like that. So we'll see how that goes, because unbalanced characters against each other. Well, I guess the characters balance against each other, but it's normally a team
There's
game.
gonna be a meta of some kind that's gonna come out.
Yeah. Good stuff.
All right.
Again, another fun one is Nubbin's Goody. I don't know if you've heard of this. He broke the Tetris world record for the fastest time to get 300,000 points, and he broke it on complete accident.
Really?
He was trying to make it. He was trying to break the record for doing the clearing the most, or 100 lines as fast as possible, is what he was trying to break. And then he realized, and then when he was doing it, he mentioned, he was like, wow, I got 300,000 points real fast. And then after his attempt, he looked at chat, and apparently chat was spamming at him that he had broke the record for getting 300,000 points. It was 1minute and 57 seconds. And it was the first time anyone's ever gotten under 2 minutes. So, cool, fun thing for you.
Speaking of under 2 minutes, somebody beat the world record for getting over it.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
And it was so funny too, because like I saw the run of it, and the guy's like, "Oh my god, I beat 2 minutes! I can finally uninstall this game now!" And he literally opens up Steam on his stream and uninstalls the game.
Lol.
What a dedicated speedrunner there.
Gabby, I do not go to school right now. I actually will maybe going back to school soon here. In March, I went to school for a year and then went off and kind of went in and out of school for a little while, and then over the last year I haven't been in school. So,
yeah.
Let's see. Player can talked about a lot of that. Coalition new IP, done that. PUBG outsold Minecraft. Yep, that's the thing I mentioned. What else we got? I know. Harvard is doing great work. They came out with saying that people hate humble braggers. So it's the whole humble brag where, you're like,
so Logan
wow. Yeah, pretty much. Where, you could tell all your friends, it's like, man, I wish I wasn't getting accepted into so many colleges. It just makes it so hard to pick, or shit like that. Don't do it. Apparently people hate that more than just regular bragging, because they know you're being an asshole, and you know yourself you're being an asshole, so people prefer it. So good work, Harvard, because apparently we needed to be told that we hate people giving you the backhanded slap saying that their life is hard because they're so lucky. So, yippee. Harvard is doing great work down there. Don't you hate the fact that
you're partnered?
Yeah, man, it sucks. I hate being a partnered streamer, like being recognized in public. Man, like wearing my partner jersey and people like whispering like, OMG, he's a partner. Like, I just want to live a normal life,
Right? I'm tired of all these people just knowing who I am. I just wish I could be invisible.
By the way, for reference, I think I've had 3 people actually recognize me, and that was in like my first year of streaming before I even got partnered. So
Well, there you go.
Let's
I
see.
think I got recognized a little bit at TwitchCon.
We got, what else we get? I mean, I guess I get recognized by other streamers whose streams I'm in, but like seeing actual viewers or something.
But how many viewers aren't streamers these days?
Quite a few actually. But yeah, I know what you mean.
I would say at least like 80% of my viewers are also streamers.
Yeah.
At least at this point, or at least have streamed.
Most of the people who became streamers for my stream were mods, and now they don't come into the stream anymore. So.
Oh.
But I don't know many of them. Like.
Well, those people are just assholes. No, but I mean, like, pretty much everybody. I can only think of maybe a handful of people that watch me, but also like don't stream. And the people that don't stream, it's not because they don't want to; it's because their internet doesn't allow them to.
Sure. Well, I don't know. Like I guess most of the people I did were never. Most of the people that I pulled were always were watchers. And when I started, again, I never were really friends with any streamers. I was just viewers. So I think that's the thing. Is now I have more people who I'm friends with who streams, but a lot of them don't come into my stream anyways. So they were never like viewers of mine or anything. So yeah, I can name quite a few people who were viewers and now streamers, but there's also a lot of people who I know aren't. So.
There you go.
Anyways, let's see. Do I have... I think I'm actually almost done here. Talked about Fortnite accidentally, quote-unquote, reactivating crossplay. The second time. More on lawsuits. Fortnite. Don't fucking cheat at Fortnite. Epic will sue your ass so fucking fast. And that also leads into PUBG. Apparently there's some, I can't remember who, it's not actually on PlayerUnknown or Bluehole, but, oh no, what's the company that's making the PUBG in China?
In China?
They're insane. They own everything in China, pretty much. Anyways, they are working with literally the Chinese police enforcement to crack down on cheaters and stuff, and they've already arrested like 30 different people who made hacks and like made 200 arrests or something like that. So and same thing with Fortnite. Fortnite has been taking a lot of people to court for hacking. There was a guy who is the most recent.
Tencent.
Yeah, there you go.
Tencent.
Yeah, that's who they are. They own like everything.
More than 120 arrests of cheat software makers.
There you go. Yeah, exactly. See.
Holy shit.
Don't fucking stop cheating at games. And they're one, it's easy to track, and two, it's getting a lot harder to do, which I really like. But as I said, Fortnite,
like the kill cam on fucking PUBG, that thing is amazing. And also the replay. Oh, it's so nice. Like, there was actually one time I was watching one of my friends, or like we were playing together, but then I was like watching him, and like all of a sudden he just randomly died, and like he goes through and he watches the kill cam, and the guy is literally standing in the middle of the map and just pointing his gun and shooting in random directions, and you just see the kill feed going off like crazy. And it's like, no, that guy's not cheating at all.
Yeah. Fuck. Well, luckily it's getting a lot harder to do that stuff. It's also one of the reasons why I avoid PC actually is because I don't want to deal with the hackers. It's just another level. I'm already bad at video games as it is. So I don't need to deal with people also destroying me and me having to question everything.
Yeah, I used to be that way. Like that was one of my excuses for playing on console, you know. But honestly, like, you just kind of brush it off like that kill didn't count because they were cheating.
Sure.
So whatever.
And I definitely, and there's definitely some Xbox hacks and stuff like that. Like, it was funny because I actually bought a modded controller one time. It was a third-party controller that they actually had it modded out. That was pretty cool. And I've also modded my own controllers. Like, I did the whole trigger finger for Call of Duty, the COD 4
Mm-hmm.
Desert Eagle, the trigger spam, where it just shoots every
Yep.
millisecond. It's great. It's great. Um, I actually built my own controller back then for that. Or not my entire controller. I just modded one of my controllers. So, and then I broke it pretty badly. I think I still own it somewhere. It still has the wire attached to it. I pretty much added an extra button to my controller that I could use whenever I had. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, but Fortnite, as I said, don't fucking Epic is cracking down real hard on it. Actually, their last one was just a guy who found a way to cheat getting V-Bucks. Um, yeah, he is apparently yeah, he's getting charged like $50,000 or something like that. So good job for you. Again, winning chicken dinners and stuff are great, but is it really worth the jail time, guys? Come on. Come on. So
Well, I mean, there's also people who are like trying to, like, I know one guy got interviewed where he's actually doing it for a living, where he was able to hack numerous games
yeah.
and get like currency in the games and then actually sell the currency for money.
Yep, you can do that. There's a lot of things you can do that make you money for being a hacker. Actually, it's a really good place to be. Which actually I will be going into cybersecurity if I start school in March. So, again, another conversation. But
Cybersecurity would be fun.
Stepping out into some other things outside the gaming. Back to Marvel really quick. One thing I didn't mention: Chris Hemsworth, his contract is up since they're now done filming the second Infinity War. Or not, or at least done filming something. I can't remember what he was done filming, but finished filming one of the MCU movies. His contract is up, so he's like, I might do it again, but it's really up to Marvel. So, which Marvel's pretty good about keeping it. They like keeping people on. So again, the people made it seem like he's like, oh yeah, Chris Hemsworth is done being Thor. He doesn't want to be it. But then you look at what he said, and he's like, I mean, my contract's up. I'd like to do it, but it's up to them. Well, so it's like, wait, no, he wants to do it, but
same thing though.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Evans' contract has been up for fucking years.
Yeah, and he likes doing it, but he actually doesn't want to be Captain America for it. He wants to be a director, is the thing, and he's always said that. And he's always said he will not act outside of Marvel. So, and he hasn't. Again, companies like movies like Snowpiercer and stuff was a deal with Marvel. So he's acted in those because of Marvel deals, but he's never actually acted outside of Marvel, pretty much. So there you go. I think the one that I know he's acted outside of Marvel was Scott Pilgrim. So which is great. I love the comics. So I own both the color and non-color copy. So
nice.
A little bit of a brag there, but all right. Random thing. Really cool thing. A drone actually saved a bunch of swimmers. There was some people who were. A couple. Yeah, it was a couple who were a little too far out at sea, and someone flew a life preserver out to them with a drone.
It was an inflatable.
That's what it was. Inflatable
raft thing.
Raft, yeah. And they were able to get on and get back. So, which even the lifeguards were like, that's better because it would have taken us like 3 times that amount of time to do that.
Yep.
And could have risked their lives.
I think it was like in 7 minutes. It went from, like it discovering them to saving them.
Yeah, something like that. So, really, really well done. So, yay drones. Drones are great. I mean, they have a lot of the other drone instances of, like, the drones crashing into the people at their wedding and boxes being dropped on people and things like that.
They've also got all these stupid laws around drones in a lot of countries, too. Like, especially in Canada. Mm-hmm. Like, in order to fly a drone, you have to be within a certain distance away from anybody who doesn't want to be filmed by the drone.
Yeah. Well, and that's a lot of stuff, and... Oh, that's actually one that to go off that about not filming. There's a hotel. I can't remember what hotel it was, but a hotel banned a social media blogger Um,
Yeah.
because everyone was calling, they're like, the entitlement is too real with bloggers, but pretty much she wrote, it was really fucking funny. I want to show my girlfriend it because it's funny how they phrased it, that the person sent a message to the hotel being like, hey, is there any way I could stay there for free, and I'll do some videos about the hotel and things like that. um, and they were like, they sent back a pretty harsh, or they tweeted out a pretty harsh message at her, or
Yeah.
Facebook or something, where they were like, sorry,
It was
it's
on
like,
Facebook.
yeah, it takes
Or
a lot of balls in order to want free stuff for exposure. Okay,
well, yeah.
so
The funny part is like, so they tweeted it out and they blanked out like all the personal information on it, except for the fact that the way they blanked it out, you could actually adjust the contrast on your screen and read it still.
lol, so bad
Yeah.
blur out, good. So but either way, they did that, and then the chick came out with made a video about it, about how it was very rude and things like that, and then it just started to escalate, and then the hotels banned all social media and bloggers from the hotel. So because they're like, the entitlement is too real and it needs to
Yep.
stop. And it's fucking
Yep.
funny of how they phrased it, because as soon as I heard it, I was thinking about artists. Artists are boned. Gaming
Yeah.
artists and things like that. If you don't know how the art industry works, you have to do a bunch of free work in order to even get experience to do a job. And
Yep.
there's been a lot of fight back about it recently. Even my old roommate, he actually just got engaged. So congrats to him. He just he put it something out. He's like, I'm looking for a job. I'm not doing any art for anyone for free. Like, fuck this. Like, I didn't spend 4 years in college getting my degree so I could do free shit for you. And it's so true, is that there's a great comic the Oatmeal did about exposure, and how that's pretty much how artists work for the first few years, is that they have to do free work for random people, and that those companies will give them exposure because it puts, they use that art in their products and stuff. So and I just thought it was really funny, because now we have a hotel who's saying, like, it takes a lot of balls to ask someone for free stuff for exposure. And it's like, lol, isn't that like the entire art industry? So way to go there. So I thought that was really funny. So all right, some other things we got Yuji Naka is now he one of the kind of the people who was a big influence on the OG Sonics, the super OG Sonic, the classic Sonics and things like that, is now over at Square Enix and is now working on a secret project for them. So we'll see what they'll be doing there. So just, again, we might be seeing a new thing out of the Sonic creator, pretty much. Not really a Sonic creator, but one of the brains behind it.
Yeah, that'd be nice to see.
Exactly. There's the whole iPhone slowdown, which I'm sure many of you have heard about, is the fact that Apple kind of got caught. The fact that their iOS update was again, it was for the people, of course, there was with the new iOS, one of the newer iOS builds, they made it so it changed how what was it? It wasn't cloud saves. It was
They reduced processor speed.
yeah, I can't remember what they did exactly, but it actually caused a lot of slowdown on a lot of devices, and it only because the batteries degrade relatively quick. So, and you can get a replacement battery for $70.
The battery, it'll restore it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, so they actually made up for it by being like, hey, all right, you caught us. How about we make it so that the batteries are now $30 instead of $80?
I'm just getting flashbacks from the Destiny devs.
Oh, dude. Oh, I won't even go. They had another fourth one, which was just a few days ago, wasn't it? That they had a
Yeah.
fourth press conference of being like, we're going to talk about all the new things that are actually going on in Destiny and how we're going to fix it. And it's like, awesome. That's the fourth one that you told us that you're going to fix your game. So, yeah, we're really expecting it now. We're really like, so,
What?
um,
What? Oh, that's right.
and last thing that we can do, which talk about, we can actually discuss a little bit, is um, the one of the creators. Oh shoot, I'm forgetting who it was, but pretty much it was on a discussion with. Who the hell was it? I don't remember her name, but I remember the other guy who was on it was the guy who made Firewatch. Um, she pretty much blamed that streamers are the reason that single player games are dying.
Oh yeah.
That whole thing,
Yeah.
which again she didn't mean it in a rude way. It was more just like an offhand thing, which was still factual in some ways. In some ways not. Is the fact that a lot of people watch streams so they don't buy certain games, which it hurts a lot of indie companies and things like that. And it got me thinking, because she also had a really good point about game budgets, which is very true. Is the fact that AAA titles now are all over multi-million dollars. Like, it for a long time, 10 years ago, no game almost ever got over $1 million in a budget. But now certain games are spending like $90 million on their games and shit like that. Like, crazy, ridiculous number of money. And the thing is they can't raise the price of games because people will give a bunch of backlash if games go over the price of $60. Like, that was kind of a standard, and it's always been the standard. And hell, it wasn't the standard. If you actually think back, I've been playing some OG Xbox games. Those games back then cost like $40, I think, was the standard. And now that COD 4 came out and kind of set the standard for microtransaction, the $15 DLC, as well as the $60 game price. And that's kind of the standard. And they're like, we can't raise the cost of games, but our game budgets are getting way bigger, so we can make better games, because people want bigger and better. But again, they're not necessarily willing to pay for it. And that's why microtransactions are a good thing, because that's what's stimulating. It's Overwatch and things like that are like, hey, all the DLC is free and things. And the same thing with Battlefront's like, all the DLCs are free and everything because microtransactions will carry the game, which is awesome.
Yeah, but you're exploiting people.
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why people don't mind. But I like microtransactions. Again, it has to be non-intrusive. No pay to win, no bullshit like that. And it's fine. Like, Fortnite doing a phenomenal job with it, because it is actually technically pay to win. If you're playing the campaign, you can buy a bunch of llamas, which have the more you buy, the better chance you have of getting the best items in the game, right? But the fact is you're not using it against other players, and the game also level locks you. It's not like you can buy stuff and it levels you up. You still have to play the game a shit ton to actually level up. Like, the weapons and all the things that you can buy just make it a little bit easier, But again, no one complains because it's a co-op game. So everyone can actually, if you pay, you're actually helping everyone next to you as well. Which tends to be the case. I mean, like, for instance, let's say Battlefront didn't have multiplayer, right? Like, if Battlefront didn't have multiplayer, I think a lot of people wouldn't. They would still care if it was pay to win as much as it was, but like, if it helped the team, right, it's not as big of a deal. And that's the thing, that Fortnite, the co-op mode is the fact that it's co-op. So if you pay, you're helping everyone out. So no one really complains. And then also the PvP, it's not pay to win. It's all cosmetical. And they're doing it right, where they are coming out with a ridiculous amount of cosmetics. I mean, the battle pass that they have was stupid. I cannot believe they did that. Like, it was, they literally made a deal so good you can't pass up. And all it is art. That's all it is in a game, is art. And so, they pay a bunch of artists to make those kind of things. And yeah, they have to pay for all that, but they make it back because they just dish out ridiculous amount of cosmetic items and they make you pay for it. But that's not a problem because it's not pay to win and it's your choice. You don't have to buy it. Sure, you're stuck with the lame old outfit, but that's not hurting you. Like, it's like, oh, everyone around me has cool outfits and I don't because I can't afford to spend it. Well, sucks, but again, it's not like it's giving them an advantage. So Fortnite is actually doing a phenomenal job with microtransactions. Halo is doing another one. People can say Warzone is pay to win, which it is in some way, but it's one game mode in one game, right? And it's the same thing with Halo Wars, is they have the whole Blitz packs, which is a card game inside the game. And so you can buy a bunch of them and level up your cards so you're stronger than everyone. That's super pay to win. But once again, it's one game mode in the game when there's so many other things. So it's just not as intrusive as other things. So, but I don't know. I agree with her points a lot and how she phrased it, because the fact is like, yeah, games are way more expensive now to make. And they need to find a way to make up the difference in income. But how do they do that without jacking the price up of the games or making DLCs cost more? And people now want free DLC, so how are they supposed to make more money, right? Like, I've mentioned it before, but making a game is one of the scariest things you can do, because you spend shitloads of money for 4 years to make one game that may not even sell that well, and then you're fucked. Like, there goes your entire company if one game doesn't sell well. So it's a scary thing, and I don't know, I thought it just, again, it brought up a good point that it's like, microtransactions are here to stay. People have just got to get used to it and just have to realize that you don't have to do microtransactions, right? So in some games you do, but there's a lot of games that, again, a lot of games don't force you to do microtransactions, and I don't understand why so many people complain about those kind of games, right? So, I understand the Battlefront. That one was absolutely one that should be complained about. But people complain about Halo Rex and stuff like that, which, again, are 90% customization stuff, so who cares, right? Like, it's not hurting you. Stop complaining. If you want all this stuff, you can unlock it all just by playing the game. Yeah, you have to play a shit ton of hours, but do you really want to look a little different that much, So.
Alright.
So, but honestly, that's it. That's kind of the news. That's the wrap up for this month. I know we talked about it a lot. We were kind of all over the place, but there you go. You got anything else? You got any other news things that you got in your head? So
no, not really.
Alrighty.
Alright, sounds good.
Well, that was a Game Bytes episode 2. Speaking of which, Energy, I want to talk to you about trying to find a day of the month to do this on, like try and make a set day for it every month so it can be a reliable thing that people know what day it is. So but we'll talk about that some other time. So
yep, sounds good.
Anyways, we are going to be ending Game Bytes here. I am actually going to be cutting stream as well here. So, thank you guys for watching this. Thank you guys for watching Sea of Thieves. I will be doing more Sea of Thieves tomorrow. With Fi-Fi and Linkfan and someone else I got to find. But you guys are beautiful. You guys are sexy. I love you all. Thank you guys for watching. And thank you, Energy, for joining me on
not a problem, my dude.
This, and I will catch you all later.
Sounds good, my dude.
See ya.
Later, man.